Okay. Bear fans, Postal Gang, welcome in Mailbox Sports. And I gotta say, look, after years of rebuilding, and I mean years of rebuilding, even past the 2018 season, the Chicago Bears in 2025, I would say, for a good choice of word, exploded onto the scene as far as the NFL's totality of a landscape goes. Won the NFC North, finishing with an 11-6 record. Divisional round, which some or many would classify as a deep playoff run. Crazy how one game, the difference in one game, would dictate or have somebody look at it that way. Nonetheless, um, we all know how that result ended, and it did not end in the way in which I expected once the playoffs began, nor did it sit well in my spirit to be able to try to talk about it or expound upon my feelings in the first week. So today we know, what is it? NFC Championship, AFC Championship, Final Four takes place 3 o'clock. I believe is the first game, and we will have a little bit of listening in if anybody would prefer to do so. Nonetheless, uh, we do have to kind of break down how Caleb performed for the year. Uh, did he evolve from what I would classify as a promising rookie to a franchise leader? Did the coach wow you or at least give you on par expectations with what he has given to you when it comes to the notion of a head coach? Let me know what you think about those things. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you are new. Also, hit that notification button so that you do not miss any of the sports deliveries that we have going on week to week and all things Chicago Bears, some Bulls, and a little bit of baseball mixed in. The latter of which we do when need be, and we will get to a need be when it speaks reverently about a Chicago sports figure. I am awaiting a particular guest of mine to be able to enter the room so that we can get into a discussion about whether or not a particular rose was planted in the right garden. So uh, we'll table that one. Like I said, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We try to break down everything that we've seen week to week, key players, some stats, get a little storyline as well to find out exactly how we feel about a few things. So uh, when we look at it on the whole, expectations for the season, what were the ultimate expectations on the season for many? Were those expectations met, exceeded, so on and so forth? We get to look into those specifics, your overall impressions of key individual players, because at the end of the year, it is imperative that you realize what you've seen or what you saw, or however you want to put it together, in terms of the personnel on the field. Moonroof, go Birds. We talk about it. The off season is here for us all, or for many of us, 28 to be exact, and we look to analyze how your team looks going forward. You know, you like myself, and welcome in. Hit the like button if you will. You like myself have had plenty of in season, and we'll have off season discussion about wide receivers on your team. What types of expectations should a fan have in terms of the retention of a particular squad, no matter the level of success individually, collectively, or what have you? obviously, in my opinion, when the Super Bowl teams win, those players get a little bit of a boost in terms of desirability because they know what it feels like, so on and so forth. And so to finish 11-6 this year, clinch the NFC North title, and have one of our biggest turnarounds. Albeit we were 5-12 last year, to 11-6 was a substantial turnaround, almost an inverse record. And so we kind of try to look to analyze what things went right, what things could use improvement, and what our anticipation of an expected off season leading into the new year will bring us, as obviously the season itself, for a bevy of reasons, has come to an end. So we look to break that down, analyze how it works out for us, and have a bit of stat focus, Moon Roof. So if you got any questions or thoughts about the Birds, if you are an Eagles fan, go right ahead and let me know what you think about A.J. Brown still being a Philadelphia Eagle when the season begins. Let me know if you got any other players you think stepped up for your team in a way that makes other people expendable, replaceable, so on and so forth. Just to give me a vibe of how the average fan might think about even their own team, as opposed to just me and the Bears, because that is the focus. That will be the focus. And that has to be a warm feeling to have when you think the outlook or the future is very bright. So, without further ado, we tell the dog to have a seat because he is getting as restless as can be. We try to look at things about my own team. For example, what players might have stepped up early on offense or defense for the Bears. I do have those questions to be posted to you guys individually, and I will have a couple surveys for a few of those things. If we would like to, throughout the course or throughout the conclusion, we might go ahead and actually get into a little bit of, what shall we call it, a preview of the game that's going on. Not a part of it what's going on, but we still wonder if Jared Stidham can outdo Drake May. Sam Darnold split reps this week. Is he going to start and be able to withstand a bout against the Rams without Zach Charbonnet, no less? Mike McCarthy is a head coach in the Steel City, and I wonder what Steel City fans are happy with that particular. I guess they did hire him. Let me know if you like that hire. Let me know if you got a team that is in search of a new head coach, because mine isn't for the first time. And oftentimes the Bears are in a situation around this time when I spoke of the rebuild being so long and arduous. Usually we are analyzing what coach would be best for us to get a hold of as far as the off season will go. Who can we hire to right the wrongs of the previous regime? And this year, it would give you a little bit of glee to know that my Bears not looking around for that. And so the game is 3 minutes in. 1st and 10. Let's see who is tuned in.
Bounds, and then was the first touch the pass, which you obviously cannot do. Stidham had some pressure there, did a nice job of climbing the pocket, moving to his right, and Harvey was all the way downfield. Here's Alex Kemp.
Illegal touching of a pass. Offense number 19 went out of bounds and was the first to touch. That's a loss of down at the previous spot. 2nd down. Correction, it was number 12.
I was going to say Alex Kemp was going to make me rethink the number I saw. It was 12, not 19. So
Harvey was trying to come back to make himself a target. Stepped out of bounds.
Empty set now for Stidham. 4 receivers to the left, the wide side. Now, Pat Bryant, the middle of those, comes in motion. So 3 left, 2 to the right, as Stidham will operate in an empty shotgun. Patriots with 6 men at the line of scrimmage. They bring Bryant back in motion from right to left. Quick throw, right side, and the ball is incomplete. Man, oh man, they had Mims set up on a screen and had Stidham. He's clapping his hands like he knows he was off on that one. Had Stidham put that on Marvin Mims, that might have been a touchdown.
And I want to see that again. And once again, there was pressure coming up the middle on Stidham. Every single throw, he's been pressured so far from this New England Patriots pass rush.
Well, that was design pressure, though. The screen out to Mims, they want pressure up inside. That thing had been on target. I'm telling you, might have wound up in the north end zone. 3rd down and 10 from the 41. 3 receivers wide left, single receiver right in the shotgun. Stidham faces 4-man pressure. Protection is good. Jarrett loads it up. Home run ball deep down the field. Passes there. Caught inside the 20. Inside the 15, the 10. That is Marvin Mims. He beat Christian Gonzalez. Mims shaking up on the play, asking to come out. 52 yards. Stidham to Mims.
Mims just streaking right down the numbers on the far side of the field against one of the best cover corners in the league. Stidham hits him on the run.
Jalen Hawkins, the safety, that's actually his play. Christian Gonzalez will get mentioned, but they're playing quarters, and Jalen Hawkins, the safety to that side, and the Broncos will take a timeout. Jumped up on an inside route, and he leaves Christian Gonzalez out to dry, so to speak, and a great throw from Stiddy to Marvin Mims. Mims shaken up on the play, and the Broncos will take a timeout, but they've got a 1st and goal at the Patriots 7.
And if you wonder what kind of arm Jarrett Stidham has, he showed it off right there on that throw. And let's hope Mims is okay. They're looking at him on the sideline.
Nice throw, Stickum. Who is this in the
He went head first into the turf. He was tackled by Gonzalez around his body, and he prevented the arms from bracing at all. So the first thing that hit the ground was Mims' forehead.
Mike McCarthy.
Back to action. Broncos break the huddle. Stiddy will operate under center. Sutton, the only receiver to the left side. 3 receivers right. Running back is Jaleel McLaughlin. They run the end around, and Pat Bryant has it. Bryant avoids 1, avoids 2, but will be pulled down right about the line of scrimmage by Kaylavon Chason. Kaylavon Chason is a guy that played college football at LSU, but he's really had an excellent season this year.
Really good postseason. 3 sacks, 14 pressures in their 2 playoff games.
Bryant was lucky because he avoided a would-be tackler at the 11. He got back to the line of scrimmage, 2nd down and goal. Boy, need to knock this thing in. Clock is at 10.5, running scoreless first quarter in the AFC Championship game. Stidham under center. Stidham rolls to his right, throws wide open, touchdown! Touchdown, Cortland Sutton. Stiddy on the money.
Jared Stidham out there tearing him up.
Officially, Jared Stidham, a 6-yard touchdown pass to Cortland Sutton. You could see it from here. Nobody covered Cortland. So I was saying wide open because he was. And Denver on the board first. They lead at 6-0 with 10:19 left in the first quarter.
Some confusion on the back end of that Patriots defense. Number 14 wide open in the corner of the end zone.
That's how you get it going. I got a couple of parlays that lead into some
extra point try by Will Lutz is up and good. Just what the doctor ordered in Denver. Timeout on the field. 10:19 to go in the first quarter. The Broncos 7, the Patriots nothing on the KOA Broncos radio network.
What do you feel about your coach? And Ty Pro, do you like your new offensive coordinator hired, Drew Petzing, or are you do you even follow along that closely? I know Chelsea got experience with Mike McCarthy, so Chelsea might even have her own opinion when it comes to what's going on with that right there, as the Broncos lead 7-0. It's important to note. I am Count Dracula. How you feeling today? Everybody, when you come in, make sure you hit that like button for me and let me know what were your expectations for the Bears or your team, if it's not a Bear, heading into the regular season. You know, it's a bit outside of the norm for y'all, man, in terms of how y'all operate. Just because I believe that typically y'all get these 20-year type coaches. I don't know if Mike can be there at 20 years. So Chelsea, what in Green Bay did you not like about Mike McCarthy? And Count, we definitely gonna get into a lot of Bears talk to figure out exactly what's going on from top to bottom, what we think about the season, how things can I don't want to say transform, but how we can progress forward in the near future, what plans we think might happen for him, so on and so forth. Mike in the 60s already, right? With Chelsea, that's exactly kind of why I even thought about the issue for him, is because it's really starting to be put out like that, where he just he coming into his own with those particular setups. And right now, like especially if you listen to the game, you definitely hearing what he doing over there. He crushing it. He is crushing it. Sorry, I gotta get this set up for my mans. Pardon me over my face. I don't know what made me do that right in the middle of thing. Oh, let me check him. No, he definitely ain't 49. Let me check him out. I'm gonna check him out for you. I like that one right there. We're going to deep dive. Drag, you an Eagles fan? So do you think AJ Brown going to be an Eagle next year? That's an interesting person to talk about. Or it's mighty ironic we speak about it when we talk about what do you call it? Wide receivers. My apologies.
And brings up a 3rd down and 1. Stevenson, a big back, downhill runner, and Greenlaw put the wood to him, keeping him from getting that first down.
Not coming to no
Taylor Munford Jr. checks in. He's an eligible receiver.
What you trading for that? You don't have anything to trade for that. He said AJ going to stay.
And Tonga, the starting nose tackle, checks in as a fullback. The handoff on 3rd and 1, and this will be close. Off the right side goes Stevenson. Greenlaw, along with Cooper, and P.J. Locke came flying up, but it's going to be marked forward progress enough for a first down, and New England will get a first down as the clock runs with 8:45 left in the opening quarter, and the Broncos are ahead 7-0.
Yeah, from up here it looked like a generous spot, but it wasn't. That's legit. Picked it up.
Patriots move left to right. From their 43-yard line, 3 receivers wide left as the ball's on the right hash. Mays in the shotgun. Takes a step up, points to a defender, lifts his knee, takes a snap, quick throw, left side, ball caught and blown up on the quick screen. That is Stephon Diggs. Diggs was the inside of those three receivers and was blown up quickly by Jaquan McMillan. That'll be a loss of 2 on the play, 2nd and 12.
Really well played by number 29. Put the big hit on him. Didn't get him on the ground, but the rest of the Broncos defense cleaned up that tackle for him.
Denver right now anticipating either run or the ball comes out quickly on Drake May, and they are sitting up on those routes. 2nd and 12 at the 41 as May's in the shotgun. 3 receivers, short side left. Now the tight end, Austin Hooper, comes in motion. 2-by-2 the set. 4-man rush. May loads it up. Home run ball down the east sideline. That is knocked away at the 20-yard line, incomplete. Stephon Diggs was the intended receiver, and Pat Surtain was step for step with Diggs, knocked the ball away. It's 3rd and 12.
The PS2 made that look so easy, Dave. I watched that whole route and thought he might try to see if he could get an interception on it, but his left hand was kind of tangled up with Diggs. But he just calmly swatted that ball down with his right hand.
Here's where the Broncos can feast on this New England offensive line. 3rd down and 12. May has to hold the ball. Patriots now breaking the huddle with 6 seconds to go. They're not going to get this snap off. They did. 1 second to go. And the crossing route is caught by Diggs. Diggs cannot pull away and will be knocked down short of the 1st down. Thrown backwards on the play, and that good coverage there by Devin Key. And the Patriots will have to punt it away. New England didn't get out of the huddle with enough time. They got to the line of scrimmage, and May just released the football as Nick Bonito hit him right in the middle of the back.
Great job by Devin Key getting him on the ground. He got a hold of him, and he was not going to let go.
Bryce Behringer will punt it away. 2nd punt of the 1st quarter. Mims is back inside the Broncos' 15-yard line. Very high, very short kick. Mims telling everybody to get away from it. It bounces once, bounces twice, takes a bit of a New England roll, but this will work out nicely for Denver. Only a 34-yard punt as it's spotted just inside the Bronco 23-yard line. Another timeout on the field with 6:33 to go in the 1st quarter from the Mile High City. It's the Broncos 7, the Patriots nothing, and this is the KOA Broncos Radio Network.
Hey, it's better. He finna try to give him the business out there. What's Stephon with the Maryland or something, right? It's crazy how this defense is out here doing pretty much the same thing Houston did, except Stidham is pushing the ball down the field and making some offensive plays. They better not let it get out of hand, I can tell you that. Better not let it go to the wayside, because at that point, it's no bueno. Now we look at, okay. You thought the reigning defensive player of the year and Minka's better. How many DPOYs Minka got? Like multiples? Not like Minka, but how many he got? Explain that, G Honda. G Honda said Minka Fitzpatrick. Anyhow, he's trying to get brownie points for everything but the truth. Meanwhile, Mike McCarthy. Let's get a quarterback. Get a quarterback, G Honda, and we'll get there. I am. Oh, okay. I get you.
Back in Empower Field at Mile High, Dave Logan, Rick Lewis, Susie Wargy with you. 6:33 left, 1st quarter, and the Broncos have a 7-0 lead. When opposing teams get penalized, Ramos Law official injury law firm partner of Broncos country, donates to Revital, taking care of first responders who take care of us. The big play thus far, a 52-yard strike from Jared Stidham to Marvin Mims, putting the Broncos in a first and goal from the Patriots 7. Cortland Sutton, a 6-yard receiving touchdown from Stidham, and that's where we are 7-0. Broncos now third opportunity with the ball. They start from their 23-yard line. Troutman realigns on the right side, so 3 receivers tight right. Stidham's under center. Turns and hands it off. R.J. Harvey avoids a defender in the backfield, and then a burst off right guard, and with power carries Patriots over the 30 to the 32 with the run of 9. Great move, a jump cut in the backfield after Harvey took the handoff. He avoided a tackle that would have been a loss on the play, winds up picking up 9. Craig Woodson, finally, the safety, makes the tackle.
And he's been so good breaking tackles this season. And talk about leg drive. Google leg drive. That play will show up. He carried about 3 guys on his back for about 5 yards.
Harvey, the rookie out of Central Florida, taking over since J.K. Dobbins went down with that foot injury. 2nd down and 1 from the shotgun. Play fake, and Stiddy rolls to his right, throws a ball in the flat. The ball's caught by Pat Bryant, who gathers it in between the 1 and the 3, and then with a nifty move, steps out of bounds at the 34-yard line. A gain of 3. First down, Denver. Good pressure that time by Cody Durden of the Patriots. But a first down for the Broncos, and the clock continues with 5:30 and counting here in the first quarter in this AFC Championship matchup. It's Denver 7, New England nothing. The winner goes to Santa Clara for a game in 2 weeks against the NFC champions. That will be decided a bit later today with the Seahawks hosting the Rams. 2-by-2 the set. McLaughlin to the right of Stiddy, now resets left.
It's crazy.
They keep it. Stiddy's got a lot of room to run. They fake Jaleel McLaughlin on the outside zone right. Stiddy pulled it, kept it. He'll have a feet first slide to the 42, so officially a gain of 8, but there was nobody there, Rick, covering the quarterback.
Yeah, and Stiddy's very mobile. He's very athletic. He was a great dual-threat quarterback coming out of high school.
He was ranked the first number one dual-threat quarterback in the country.
You know who is too? Kyler Murray.
Yes, I do, yeah.
Unbelievable.
It is. You hear them chanting Stiddy. That's going to continue if this continues. Stiddy's under center, straight I formation. They run it. RJ off left side, and RJ with power is going to get a first down, I believe, out to the 44. Carlton Davis, the third on the tackle. But the sticks will move. First down Denver at their own 44-yard line.
Going steady.
We talked about Sean Payton finding a creative way, an efficient way to get this Broncos running game going. It's been an issue from time to time. But that's one way what we saw 2 plays ago. Running a zone read, having Stidham keep it, pick up 9. Then you get a first down with R.J. Harvey. The clock runs, and that can be efficient as well. First and 10 at the 44, 3:40 and counting first quarter. Mims comes in motion. Play fake. No, they hand it off. Harvey is there, and boy, good news there that Stidham handed off to Harvey because there was a blitzer on the way, Robert Spillane on the tackle. There was a blitzer on the way that ran right past the mesh point, thinking that Stidham was going to run a play fake on first down.
Yeah, and Harvey, he's got those quick feet. Stepped right around it.
Well, I think the defender ran around him. And we've got an injured player. That is Robert Spillane, who took his helmet off in between the hash marks at the 47 and slammed it to the turf. Spillane, the starting inside linebacker.
Okay. That's who Spillane is.
Bronco fans remember his name. He played with the Raiders as well. Timeout, 3:14 to go first quarter. Denver 7, New England nothing on the KOA Broncos radio network.
I love how they go dead silent on this radio network. They don't go through all they ain't got a lot of ad dollars or something, but they be quiet as hell. Spillane is down on 2nd and 9, another Patriot. So that ain't good. And we think back and say, matter of fact, I'll put a poll up. Let me know if we got. I am awaiting. I got a co-host that got a bevy of questions to pose. I'm waiting on him, and then we're gonna get right into it, class. Other than that, we're gonna tune in. We're gonna harbor a couple questions, or foster them, I should say, and we're gonna get to the bottom of what we came here today. Oh,
Check, check.
never,
What up, brother? Can you hear me?
Never knew. My bad. Absolutely.
And I cannot. Hold on, I can't hear you, man.
Give me a moment.
Why can't I hear you? Let me see. Okay.
Boom, 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 boom.
I see what the problem is. All right, there we go. We here. I don't know why it does that.
Back in the Power Field at Mile High, today's game presented by Empower. Get good at money so you can be a little bad. Invest well at Empower.com. 7-0
Can you hear me, bro?
3:14 left in the first. The Broncos, by the way, are 5-0.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Scoring
Good to go.
first in AFC championship games. And the Patriots, it's only the 5th time in 17 conference championship games.
What's up, Chelsea?
New England did not score first in the game.
Bronco madness.
Sutton in motion. The outside of three receivers wide right. Shotgun time for Jared Stidham. Stidham will turn, hand off to R.J. Harvey. Harvey hit right at the line of scrimmage.
Stidham is ready to go, huh?
Well, this question after this drive, this question,
and it will bring up a third down and long. That was Craig Woodson.
Football.
New England getting safeties involved now.
Because it was
tight to the line of scrimmage.
It's always been a
Woodson was the guy that ran right by the handoff to R.J. Harvey on his way to what he thought was going to be a play-action pass. Here's a big third down, 3rd and 9. Stidham faces 5-man pressure in the pocket. Throws the ball middle of the field, and it is into and out of the hands of Cortland Sutton between the hash marks at the 38.
What up, G Honda?
Right there. And we get to it. I'm going to put a question in the chat. Recently, one Derek Pooh Rose got his number retired by the Chicago Bulls.
Yes, sir.
And I will always be probably president of the Derrick Rose fan club when it comes to all things basketball. And I ask of you, my good Chicagoan, because I got my own thought about it. Is Derrick Rose going to be a Hall of Famer?
No, sir. Unfortunately not. But he doesn't have to be. He's a Chicago legend, man. He'll never, have the, because he didn't have the career, unfortunately. But so he'll never have that league acclaim. But he's like a hometown, homegrown product that people absolutely love around the league. You know what I'm saying? So he'll always be respected. He'll always be acknowledged. He was an MVP in the era of LeBron and Kobe, man. I mean, come on, dude. Like how many guys can actually say that they were able to do that? So he will always have the respect of the league. He'll always have the respect of the city that loves him. We embrace him. But as far as, making it to that coveted Hall of Fame, no, I don't see that.
Okay. Now I have a rebuttal to it because obviously I don't think I've ever asked you this question. So I didn't know we diametrically disagree about this particular thing. And I'll tell you why in a minute. I'm looking at one particular thing for clarity as far as a college team goes. How many national championship appearances for the University of Memphis? Okay, so here we go. This is why I disagree to start.
Okay.
To say Derrick would not be a Hall of Famer would imply that Derrick Rose would be the first in NBA history, the first MVP to never be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I understand that.
Okay.
I understand that 100%. But Derrick Rose was also the first. Was he not the first MVP at his age? Was he not also?
I'm giving you my argument why he is. You telling me why he wasn't. I'm telling you why he is. Give me. Don't take away. Don't.
Okay, so you got more.
Don't take away from my argument. Yeah. Don't. So what's up, T Miles? How you feeling today? Y'all see the poll question? Is Derrick Rose a Hall of Famer? So not only would he be an MVP, but he is in fact the youngest MVP in NBA history.
Yes, thank you. Well, that's part of my argument too. So there's nothing wrong with being first.
No, I'm saying that's part of my argument why he will be. I don't say that he isn't, but he ain't. No, he will be. That's one reason. Two. What is it? 2-time All NBA as they classified in his first 3 years, and MVP and Rookie of the Year. So in those 3 years, and All-Star to boot, in those 3 years, you ever heard of this thing called the bird rights?
Yeah, I was already going to use that.
So,
but go ahead.
Bird rights were created because of a player, correct? One Larry Bird.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So,
but Derrick was the first person to actually. Yes, I'm with you. I don't mean to cut off your argument, but I'm with you.
You're not cutting off. You're giving credence to it. So Larry is the only player that we know of in namesake that has a rule contractually named after him, meaning it affected the change of the NBA game. True or false? That we know of.
Yes, true.
So Derrick is the second person in that, because although it has not been named the Rose Rule yet, it is this thing called a Supermax contract, and that Supermax contract is able to be had because of escalators because of a one Derrick Rose. So the Rose Rule exists. Kyrie being the first person to ever cash in on that contract type in terms of achieving so many things in a short period of time. As quick as his burst was to the hole is how he got all of those accolades. Not to mention on the whole, would you say that, because I'm going to look this up as well to look at Tony Kukoc's numbers in the NBA, his career numbers in the NBA versus Derrick Rose, because I don't think they supersede him in any way. And so the Basketball Hall of Fame, as they call it, is not the NBA Hall of Fame. It's your contribution to the game of basketball. And so to add to that, I'm going to give you a little bit of trivia question right here when it comes to collegiate things, because these are the types of things that get you into the Hall of Fame. How many national championship appearances does the University of Memphis have?
One.
And that one, who was the best player on 18?
Nobody, because that year was wiped out.
Man, stop playing these bullshit games with me, G Honda.
Bruh, what you want me?
Don't make me curse about that. Reggie Bush won a Heisman. I don't care how much money he took. Don't give me. I told people Derrick Rose don't take that damn test, but we talking about.
Brother, NCAA said that year never happened, man.
Mario Chalmers the reason why. If it never happened, when I asked how many times they went to the NCAA, they would have said never. It told me one time, and it gave me Derrick and Chris Douglas Roberts and Joey. No. Hey, my man took a school that probably will never go to the national championship again for any reason. Shout out to Cal. And those things,
that's
like
true.
Now NIL is a real thing, and they're probably like, oh, he paid this. Blue chips was going on all the time. But youngest MVP, Rookie of the Year,
yes,
Rose Rule, only person to get your college program to a national championship, and a shot short of claiming said national championship. I really, under no circumstance, can grasp how the NBA, because of people like Manu Ginobili, people like what do you call Arvydas Sabonis and so on and so forth, people who did nothing to contribute to the NBA game, but more so the basketball Hall of Fame. It's why, in fact, he won't be a first ballot, but he will indeed have accumulated enough counting stacks when you talk about a Grant Hill who did nothing in comparison to Derek, down to Rookie of the Year, because you was a co-Rookie of the Year. Never win an MVP. No contract rules were made for you in any way. Not leading anybody deep into the playoffs because of injury. So your career was way shorter in terms of proliferation and things you did that was so monumental. And we talk about a Tracy McGrady, who I think is one of the best offensive players ever. You never got out of the first round, bruh. And so you barely even qualified as a superstar to getting your team to the playoffs, because you could never step past. I'm not asking you to be great. You couldn't, as a whole team, first round is how many times you gonna get there before we start criticizing you? We can't tell me that people like that are Hall of Famers and already in there. The Manu Ginobilis, who played 14 years professionally before he got to the league, and while I know he had some great years in San Antonio, those years alone would not have him in the Hall of Fame. And so I just think that when we arbitrarily shoot down the notion that Derek could be a Hall of Famer, I think that it is like one of the most short-sighted things we do as basketball fans, because we totally look at the Basketball Hall of Fame as the NBA Hall of Fame. And I think that, like, Christian Laettners and everybody like that have their collegiate careers be classified. They Team USA nominations and the totality of your work be classified, and we just go like Derek had a short career. Short, but more impactful than people who had shorter careers. And
no.
He didn't have a short career because Grant played.
He didn't. Honestly, he didn't have a short career though. He played 15 seasons.
And not at a bum level, just not at the first.
Not at that peak level. And that's, what it is? It's because we've never seen it before. So if we've never, typically people, if they've never seen it before, then they don't even understand how to gauge it or quantify it. He played 15 seasons, played in the playoffs 8 times. I mean, you comparing the numbers. I think probably the thing that hurts Derek the most is that he was so good early and he never reached that height later. And we know how the NBA likes to do their Hall of Fame, man. We know. It's a popularity contest typically, and then they look at championships. That's, to me, it's like, how popular were you, amongst the writers and the
2 examples to piss that down the rabbit hole. Grant Hill nor Tracy McGrady got any success like that. They don't have his playoff success or anything throughout the course of their career. And their comebacks, when they did come back, were never the same and never amounted to the same offensive firepower. I.e., just like him, he didn't shoot threes like T-Mac, and he wasn't this quiet face of the league as far as like cleaned up. Like Grant had this cleaned up image. Derek is beloved by his peers, not just the Bulls. That's even speaking down to LeBron and people that can sit around right now and tell you who they want to guard. And so I just think that, like, people say things like, "Oh, his career was short," and what was accomplished in his short career in terms of his height, it was never seen by as far as anybody else being replicated. So that in itself puts another thing in my bag. Nobody ever seen one of me. I don't care for how long it was. You still haven't seen one of me. You seen something maybe close to me a little bit, but Russell ain't the winner I was, and this, that, and the third. Bop. It's many other people that are already in the hall that I just gave you. If we talk about league stats, like Manu never blew the league away. You was a 6-man one time, but you wasn't out there dropping 21 ever in a season. So
no, he averaged 11 for his career.
Yeah, so,
but what
you're a Hall of Famer.
But what I'm saying,
things.
Yes.
outside of the
Yes,
NBA.
I hear you. Brother, I hear you. What I'm saying is, I don't think the league is gonna let him in.
That's what I'm saying.
It ain't got nothing to do with me. I ain't even got a vote.
You say the league when it's not the league's Hall of Fame. That's all I'm saying. It's the basketball writers, they get to vote on those types of things, and some of them, when it's actually time for him to be able to be in there, we may have younger, fresher eyes, but there are people who don't take the whole of his basketball career. And when I just named to you things like the Rose Rule and his national championship appearance, those are things I still think you put in your back pocket and don't quantify that people have to look at when they sit in that room and have to discuss them. Like today, it can be a real hot button push aside topic like, oh, he beloved here, this, that, and the third. Yes, he is beloved there, but in terms of things that were accomplished in the NBA, the things that he did in the time that he did are still not replicated in that magnitude. But always going to be a topic at least for the next 5 years that we get to have in jest, because it won't matter at least until then. I think he put his papers in officially, so that's when they start.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, let's see what the league. Let's see what happens. That's what I say. Let's see what happens. I say he's on the line. He ain't a first ballot though.
I know. Hey, we 3,000% agree with that. The injury is where I think you're not a first ballot. It hurts you because people do have to table your story in terms of some other people that might be around you. But on the whole, when I got to look at you getting in, I'm not going to sit there and be able to tell you that somebody else who still don't have the things that he have to boot is not going to the Hall of Fame. When you can only talk about somebody like a Mike and a LeBron that can match anything we talking about in the conversation of him, and he did it in a shorter time than even them. You see what I'm saying? Like that's magnitude.
I think.
Go ahead.
I think the same thing that helps him hurts him though.
True.
Because the league, and this is what we have seen. Even if you're, like you said, you're not killing it with the numbers like a Manu Ginobili. I think the league has always valued longevity over those short runs of success. And unfortunately, Derek's run of success was short. I can't quantify it any other way. I would love for him to be a Hall of Famer, but he shines so bright in those first 3-4 years, man. Even after even the year that he got hurt, he was good when he came back, and then he eventually got hurt against Philly in that first round.
Second time when he came back.
No. I was saying in the playoffs when he tore his.
You said when he came back. I was saying no, that was the first time he went.
Yeah, when he tore his ACL. So it's just unfortunate, man. I'm looking at. I think you got to go deeper than numbers. Like would it? I guess you got to ask yourself, would it hurt the league to put him in?
No.
Would it hurt the league? I don't think so. I agree.
There are other people who have comparable numbers to him and lesser numbers that are already in the Hall of Fame, and it's for reasons outside of their actual basketball careers. And I really don't think you understand seriously when we talk about a supermax contract. That caveat alone is not something that you throw down the garbage like it don't count for anything. We're talking about that changes the structure of basketball contracts due to his play, nobody else's. Like we bird rights. You get to go over your salary cap to keep this player because he's so dope and you drafted him. That happened because Larry Bird was so good. They're like, man, no, we cannot lose him to what we've been losing players to. We got to change the rules for him. Bro, they changed the rules for him.
Listen, man. I know I was there.
But I don't think we understand
I get that.
In terms of it being a contribution, because when we're talking about it, once again, we go to his short playing career, and I'm speaking on things in conjunction with that short playing career. Like, I've stopped talking about the playing career, at the beginning when I spoke of youngest MVP in league history, rookie of the year, his all MVP, NBA appearances. Mike and LeBron, the only two people to do it. That's his playing career. I table that. I didn't talk about that. Nobody has done what he did on the court in no longevity of their career except for Mike and no, I take that back. Magic as well because he was rookie of the year. But you understand? I'm putting him in an echelon of players that it's 4 or 5 that we can go try to dig through the crate at best to pull out, and he one of them. I don't care how long it been. Like all of them had long, great longevity, and I'm talking about in terms of a successful longevity. But still, they only did what he did, and nobody else has. Is what I'm saying for that. So that right there is looked at for playing career because it's heightened that yes, you didn't play that long, but imagine if you did, and you already did what some people play 15 years and never get to do. You did it in 3. Now we get to, because you did that, everybody past you in the league benefits contractually in a way that they would have not benefited necessarily if not for you, because somebody said, damn, he's so good, we got to give him some more money right now before things flip on their head. And they instituted a new rule into their contractual language.
Where he could be
Larry.
Yeah.
So you changed the game. It don't matter how long you was around. How many players can say they changed the game? He's like 3 or 4. I can be loose with saying the Jordan rules. I can be loose with that. But I'm talking about Larry Bird and Derrick Rose. That Supermax contract is in existence because of Derrick. That is an actual rule that only one person we know to boot can brag about. That's not something light to throw away talking about how long he played. I don't care if he played 20 years. LeBron, one of the best 3 to ever played. What rule was changed for LeBron? You see what I'm saying? Like, that has some magnitude beyond playing, and it's the contributions to the game part that I think people kind of look at but don't put their glasses on for, because everybody get hung up on the 5 years of greatness. I box those in for you. That's like maybe 40% of his Hall of Fame career because of it being short. Like you said, it can be used for and against him. But
we'll see. Well, let's see what happens, bro. I don't know.
We do it. It's just like, because that's not like, oh, that was nice. One other person changed the way the game was written for contractual rules. That'll be looked at, I think, in a more heavy context. But I only did that because it gave me a little bit of what do you call it, an endorphin boost to not be in the doldrums, Mr. Walker, when we talk about my beloved Bears. And while a success, G-Class.
Yes, sir.
A disappointment or a disheartening way to lose last week as we listen to football. Yes, T Miles. I'll get back to it later on. He does. I'll explain to you.
Did you turn your mic up for Chelsea?
I'm really not understanding what I have done differently to my mic for Chelsea.
Check the Discord level. Maybe it's
yeah, let's go. Let's check that out.
Because you don't use OBS, right?
Yeah.
You're just going straight from Discord to. Oh wait, no.
I'm tapped in OBS. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand. Today what's happening different for me than any other day.
Okay.
No, I'm tapped.
Sorry.
I'm tapped in through both of them. Actually, as far as how it goes, but how it goes for us is an interception to end the game. Essentially, a game I really thought we were winning. And I wonder what expectations do you have? Let's just leave it there. I won't try to wonder about the ifs in this season. What expectations did you have entering the playoffs for the Bears?
That's I told you, like I told you in the beginning of the season, as we were going game to game, I said, if the Bears are who we believe they will be, then they should win these particular games. They should be at this particular level. So coming into it, especially coming off of a win, 2 weeks prior? Or was that a week prior? No, it's 2 weeks prior. Sorry, coming off of a win against the Pack Boys. I felt good about that matchup. I thought we would play better. Didn't know how the game would turn out, but I going into the playoffs, I felt good about that matchup. Beyond that, I was unsure. But as I kept watching all these other teams, like I told you, I'm like, man, none of these teams really scare me. Everybody's talking about they don't want to go up to Seattle. They scared to play in Seattle. They scared to this. Listen, man, I'm not ducking nobody. You know why? Because if you got to win a championship, that means you have to beat these guys, right? If you're gonna get to the Super Bowl, you got to play somebody and you got to beat them. And the competition only the level raises each round that you go up. So what am I ducking people for? Let's play.
Thank you.
Let's play. So I was ready to go. If I was in the locker room, I'd have said the same thing Ben Johnson was saying, which it sounds like we was on the same page. We ain't ducking nobody. We here for 5 weeks, fellas. And if you ain't here for 5 weeks, then you might as well just leave the locker room now. That's what we here for. And that's what I like, man. So I felt, to answer your question, I felt good about where the Bears were mentally. I didn't like, and we talked about it, I didn't like coming off of back-to-back losses, the 49ers and the Lions. But the Lions game felt like an outlier. And the 49ers game, we lost 42-38. I mean, we were there. You know what I'm saying? We were there. So I really felt good. The boys had developed well. We were over somehow. Kept overcoming these injuries, and my whole question was the defense. Which, if we talk about the Rams game, defense showed up. So yeah, I'm sorry. Coming into the playoffs, I felt pretty good.
All right. As an aside, salute to my sponsor of the show today, Mr. Walker. I appreciate the cash up, good brother. We will check out SBC later on today. T Miles. There is a segment where we will get to our quarterback specifically, because if I told G-Class earlier when we talked about Derrick Rose, I needed an endorphin shot to kind of get my energy going. If I needed a good laugh, Caleb Scares Me definitely gave it to me. But we get there, because unless he is auditioning for a horror movie that I don't know about, I couldn't make sense of that question. We'll get to it, because I really don't know. 11-6 is where we finished. The last game, like I said, was a bit of a letdown for me in the sense that we did discuss the game before the game started. I told you exactly how I felt about it, and G Honda, please stop talking foolish. You know nothing about what you talk about. That was I thought what he said was crazy. I won't let y'all get me off task again, but that was ridiculous. Up from 5-12 last year. So, what players do you think stepped up on offense and defense this year? If you can go maybe 3 that you didn't expect on offense and 3 on defense.
Like, you want me to give you what?
3 players that you think stepped up this year. Who gave you like a performance you didn't think would happen from offense and defense?
3 on offense. DeAndre Swift. I'm still not happy that he chooses to try to jump over people rather than running through them. But it is what it is. But I would say DeAndre Swift, I was pretty down on him last year, and he showed me something this year, for sure. I guess the next person I would say on offense, I'm trying to let me think. DJ Moore, because when the chips were down, man, no Rome, no Luther, and we going against the Pack, and we need it. We got to get it done. DJ Moore showed up, man. He was going over the middle, catching passes. He was outrunning his defender and catching passes. DJ Moore was big time in that game, along with Colston Loveland for sure. And unexpected. Let me see. I gotta. You know what? Darnell Wright.
Darnell.
Darnell Wright. Knowing what he can do and seeing him do it are two totally different things, man. Darnell Wright made himself into an all-pro this year, man. And I think his ascension was a big part of the Bears' success this year. So yeah, those are my three on offense. Defensively, people that surprised me, man, the defense defense is tough. Kevin Byard. I thought Kevin Byard had a fantastic year. Nashawn Wright, bro, you can't cover, and that's clear, right? Listen, we get it. You can't cover, but you long enough, you're tall enough to make plays, and you made plays when we needed you to. More specifically, that forced fumble, against
Jacobs,
against Jalen Hurts. That forced fumble against Jalen Hurts in the Philly game.
I know the Philly. Okay, I get you.
Yes, fantastic. Which people didn't even think that could happen. You know what I'm saying? So big time stuff. And let me see. You say three people. Third player, Noah Sewell. What? Noah Sewell? You can actually play, sir. You can actually. Bro, I had no expectation with Noah Sewell. We've been talking about Noah Sewell for years. And this is his first year where he was, for the most part, healthy until he got hurt later in the season and at the end of the season. So, yeah, those I go with those three.
I can dig that. Now, for me personally, I would have to say Ozzie Trapillo would be number one on that because of how the season started. You got a high expectation after your second round pick that was a right tackle. Eventually, they did move you back to right tackle because they didn't think that you were adapting properly to the position. All of a sudden, Braxton proves to you that Braxton is what we thought Braxton was, and not even as much as I wanted to give him credit for trying to be, because Tony couldn't even help him. And so we went to Theo Benedette, undrafted free agent. And lo and behold, despite the injury, Ozzie has shown you that he can be your starting left tackle for the future. And while that's a bit compromised based on the injury that he particularly had, it did evidence to you specifically that he was able to go ahead and not only put to bed any rumors or doubts of him being a quote-unquote bust, or a wasted pick very, very quickly, unlike some of the other Ryan Poles draft picks in the past, and quickly had you back on his side. Jahdae Walker, the undrafted free agent, to be a UDFA, to be like the fourth or fifth receiver, I think fifth when it comes down to it, to make some of the catches that he made in the spots that he did. We're not talking about a 12-yard first down in the beginning of a game or something. We're talking about the things we saw DJ Moore do. This young man is doing to force overtime, to be electric in his separation, and being able to hold him to the ball when Caleb, really threw a bad ball. And he was the total epitome of making a situation as good as you could make it. From being a UDFA to a relationship between a quarterback and a wide receiver, where sometimes he's going to have a pretty ball and he's going to make you look good, and sometimes he's going to have one of those mud ducks and you got to make him look good. And I think for him to come in such a rushed role and do that is one to say. And I'm going to give my obvious to my quarterback. And it's because of this and this alone. Last year, he was a bust, the worst quarterback of the draft class. We should have took every quarterback but him. And this year, you got people outside of the sports lexicon that is, shout out to Cam and Mace, mimicking the Iceman. Cam will tell you I didn't know who he was at the beginning of the season, but he put me on right now because of what he's doing on the field. And to have somebody who, what G Honda said something ridiculous about holding on to the ball too long when the man cut his sack total by 44. No idea what G Honda talking about. But at least T.
Don't
Miles.
listen, man.
At least T. Miles gave
We
me two
don't-
things he could be concerned about.
we don't entertain foolishness.
Well, I mean,
We don't entertain
Mike McCarthy
foolishness.
is his head coach right now, so I know delirium,
That's his coach now.
Delirium is running rampant right now. He can't think too good at all right now. He don't know what's going on. He's like Mike McCarthy. That's the standard now. Good luck. How we will try to look at it though, just for the Bears to boot, because I got us having some player grades, and I think some of these things may be able to help us better reference or quantify. But before I get to that, defensively, obviously we both agree on Nashawn. I had a video earlier in the year about people that we would keep or cut. Nashawn was on that keep list. Go check that video out, along with a couple other people that made impacts for the Bears. And we think about a player like, I would say, and this is the crazy way to associate, but I'm going to give you some statistical things that help me intimate why Kyler Gordon is on that list for me. Kyler played in 5 games this year. Well, 4, I believe. My bad. I gave him one too many. In those 4 games, our defensive efficiency rating, when they get to the stat geek things, we're 4th. When he is not on the field,
Kyler's a problem, man.
We are 23rd
Yes.
when he's off the field. And so to have
difference maker.
To have a short sample size, albeit it to the point where the coach doesn't even know the player, but the numbers bear out themselves. Even in the game we said specifically, he got beat like a drum. You still go out there and get those types of plays out of him. And Stephen James welcome in. T. Miles says cut right. Okay. Me and T. Miles would never be co-fantasy managers out here. This would never work. The Bears led the NFL this year. 82 explosive plays or big plays, not those G Honda splash plays, but real ones. Spider-Man under contract already. He's not going nowhere. He just signed a deal last year. We'll get to
We just signed him last year.
We did.
I mean, in the offseason.
We did, but I do like that because I will have a portion of this where we ask about keeping and rating ourselves to certain players. So at least T. Miles has given me his thoughts already for players he would let go in the offseason. That's quite fine by me. We already know, even with him saying that right there, I think we are defensive back university. We do well at recruiting those. Not to mention Terrell Smith.
I agree with that.
We haven't talked about. And Zay Frazier as
we got draft picks.
Yeah, Zay Frazier will come back as well. I think Al Harris talked about him as well. T. Miles, I like Tariq Stevenson. A lot of people say cut him. But we'll get right into that. And Mr. Walker, as usual.
Cut him?
No, he said keep Stevenson. He said keep Tariq.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I don't know the size of a giraffe's brain, Mr. Walker, so I couldn't delve into the level of critical thinking they can do. Nonetheless, we averaged 104.7 yards in the fourth quarter. That's third in the NFL this year. Caleb set a rookie franchise record for passing yards in 24, and then this year set a new record for the Bears in passing and single season pass yards of 39.42. That's one of the improvements for Caleb this year. And we'll go through some things right now to talk about some Caleb improvements from rookie to sophomore year. So his attempts.
And he started and he played every game.
In both seasons.
Mm-hmm.
562 completions.
Availability.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. It's the best ability. 562 attempts last year. 568 this year. 351 completions last year. 330 last year. And I do have a short.
This year. 330
this year. My apologies. And I do have a short that talks about adjusted completion percentage. And while his is 14% lower than it should be, and Bo Nix, Jared, not the dude playing right now who playing like trash. Drake May, yeah, that guy. His is 11% higher than it should be. I digress. Completion percentage is down by 4.5% this year due to the 21 less completions. The yards are up, touchdowns are up by 7, interceptions down by 1, passer rating went up. So what I want to know is he improved in every statistical category there, with the exception of completion percentage and completions. So, did he improve enough for you? Is my first question, G class, and then I open that to the floor. Is Caleb a success in terms of his improvement? Did he improve enough for you this year to believe that he's our quarterback? That should be the question I have for you more so than anything, because I want to say improved enough.
I believe
he didn't improve enough for me.
Yeah, I believed that he was our quarterback last year. When you got to look at all the variables, right? You got a new coach, new system. You bringing in new players. Your offensive line is new. Your coach wants you to learn cadence, which means your offensive line has to learn your cadence so that they can know how you're doing it. And they could, everything is, you need reps, right? So coming in, you have all of these new things, new variables, new things happening. Bro, you can't just, it's not easy. It's not easy at all. And he showed me a lot, 27-7, right? 27 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. We could talk about, and he had a fantastic regular season. We could talk about the playoffs too, if you want to, but the playoffs. I'm gonna say the playoffs show you
real quick about that. Somebody gave me some trolls about interceptions, and in that's true. But we throw away all the scores. But back to what you were saying.
Yeah. You can't listen, man. You gonna throw the baby out with the bathwater? Like you can't. Yes, he threw some interceptions, but if you look at that weekend, all these quarterbacks threw some interceptions. Listen, I take the interceptions he threw over the stuff that your boy C.J. Stroud was throwing out there in Pittsburgh and in New England. Exactly. In Pittsburgh and New England with a top notch. That's a top tier defense that he had, and he just threw the games away. Caleb didn't do that. Not only did he not do that, he threw you into the game to give you a chance. And you can bring up the Rams play all you want to. We know what happened. We saw the footage, man. Okay. That's clear about what happened. Should we have, I think there's something to be said about a new coach, first year coach, getting these kind of results and still having to be better at coaching, right? We call in coaches and we expect them to be at this level and they should be ready to go. Like any situation they should be ready for. There's stuff that Ben Johnson did this year that had me questioning him.
We'll get to the
yeah. I just think that's part of the. I just think that's part of the Caleb Williams. I think that's part of the story with Caleb. Me personally.
That's fair.
I can't ignore that.
But I wanted to bleed in because he get his own.
He got his own segment. I got you. Yeah, but yeah, Caleb improved a lot to me, especially me actually more so focusing on what he was doing, like his footage, his movements, how he was doing things. He looked by the end of the year, he looked like he had a much greater command of the offense, and I can't wait till this next offseason and then another season. Let's see how much more fluid he's going to be, how much more better he's going to be, and still maintaining that ability to make a play, right, to make something happen. So yeah, for me, he improved. I liked his improvement, and I'll tell you this, just to give you an example real quick, if what we saw in those first 2 weeks is that if that's what we saw the rest of the year, no, I would have hated it. But we saw the first 2 weeks, and then we saw this improvement just consistently each week, a little bit more. And by the end of the year, you look almost 4,000 yards, 27 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, a QB rating of 90%. I mean, you could talk about completion percentage, but that's only going to grow with time and repetition. Knowing if the guys run their routes the way they're supposed to run their routes, Caleb can get the ball there. He showed you that. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it there.
Already. Because T. Miles again, and I was about to give him credit for posing a good question, and then he gives me this lunacy again. Says throwing interceptions to lose the game is bad, especially in the playoffs. If he was more accurate in the first 3 quarters, he wouldn't have to be Superman in the fourth. Okay. So I made a video this week about Caleb and all of the things that contribute to completion percentage. But we, T-Miles in specific, took that as a highlight reel for Caleb Williams. So anybody check the video out for yourself. Maybe you can get something different than he got out of it. Maybe you can't. But he did bring up a good statement earlier because Mr. Walker spoke about reps. And Ben already spoke to the heavy thought of him getting 10,000 reps as far as his offense goes and before he can master it, which I think is like equivalent to what we classify as 10,000 hours.
10,000 hours, yeah.
And so the reps are still to come, but my question is because T-Miles said Caleb's biggest issue is being consistent in everything. And so my question to you is, do you agree that Caleb is inconsistent in everything as far as the quarterback position goes? Because I think that's a pretty hyperbolic statement.
Caleb shows a consistent ability to make plays. So even if if it breaks down, how many sacks did he take? 24 sacks. I watched every game. There are some games where he should have been sacked at least 3 times.
Consistently elusive.
He's one of the. Not only that, he showed the consistent ability that when they run the boot, he makes a good decision, and he got better. He started to when he would roll out, he would put some touch on the ball. I saw that in Philly. He would make that decision to okay, I got to go get it. You know what I'm saying? We're not messing around. We're not waiting for nobody to get open. I got to go get it. Or if I see somebody open, I can get it to him. His arm talent is consistently amazing. So you could tell me whatever you want. You could be whatever. Inconsistent.
Start week 2 missing DJ in the corner.
Yes.
To go through the last 4 weeks of the year. Tell me when he launched a deep ball that sailed over anybody's head, that went out of bounds, that did anything but find their hands.
Yes.
Like back to what he was lauded for in college was his ability to throw the deep ball and connect with players. We saw that happen abundantly. His ability to step up in the pocket is something that I think needs to improve more, but I think was less inconsistent this year. His accuracy obviously has to be more consistent, and while I will give credence to the throwaways, I will give total thought to the number, I believe, 3rd in actual drops and 1st in yards lost. And
I'm sorry. I'm looking at certain things in the chat that's kind of throwing me off because
they do throw me. And this is okay. And so let's peel it back right here, because oftentimes, and I don't know, maybe the chat may see it differently in a lot of ways, because I know certain people run pages. My page, in essence, as much as I like to be the center of attention in terms of talking sport, it was theoretically built on the opportunity for every fan to be able to have the opportunity, especially the Bear fan, to have their thoughts spoken on and kind of elaborated upon. And so I will never, even in the opportunity to being monetized, everybody who is not super chatting, and some people still get some things that catch my eye, obviously. And so you kind of understand that at times I want to stop instantly to address it because I don't want to forget, but it does interrupt thought processes that might be going on right in the moment. But since this is specifically still about Caleb, to say he's been consistently inconsistent all year would be a misstatement in my estimation. Because while he is inconsistent in several areas in terms of trying to improve in the quarterback game, his decision-making skills have improved consistently. Not inconsistently, but consistently. His deep ball has improved consistently, not inconsistently. His elusiveness, because the ability to recognize pressure and avoid it is, that means feeling pressure. That's a skill. Improve consistently. his yardage in terms of being able to recognize, like he said, when to make a play with my legs or make a hero ball play has improved consistently. So when we go through the list, anybody in the chat has carte blanche to name me all the things that he is inconsistent in throughout the course of the season. And what our next video will be is me and said person. We can have a side-to-side comparison of list of the pros and cons of Caleb Williams. Because to round this off before we move into a Ben Johnson conversation, no, you say it's a totally different argument because that's what we've been trying to tell you all the time. He's not consistently inconsistent. But I digress. What I want from you, including T. Miles, to wrap it all up, because you say he's been consistently inconsistent. G-Class and G-Honda keep throwing off his giraffe statements in here, hyping up T. Miles. Class going to help me to give Caleb a grade. So A through F, if you will, chat and Class verbally, obviously, your grade for Caleb Williams for the 2025-2026 season.
I give him a B. I give him a solid B. I'm not going to go plus or minus. I give him a B when I consider everything that changed, everything that he had to learn, everything that he had to do, and everything that he still was able to accomplish. He's a number 7 passer in the league. Now you could be upset. I'm looking at, as far as yards go, number 7. Mm-hmm. The people above him, they all made, except for Dak Prescott, and Jared Goff. But everybody else made the playoffs. His rating is right there. Let's see. Middle of the...
I think he's in top 15 or 16, something like that.
22.
Okay.
But when you consider the fact that also he only threw 7 interceptions and he attempted... Hold on, let me see it. He attempted 568 passes, man. What I'm seeing is a reason to be optimistic because we know that he's going to get better. And then when it's crunch time, when you got to make something happen, he's able to consistently make something happen. That is a skill. You could talk about, okay, so one of the things people are talking about is, man, okay, so we won, 7 games? We were down in the last 2 minutes, right? Mm-hmm. And is that a recipe for continued success? No. You want to win those games, yes, if it comes to that. But it's not a recipe for continued success. So what does that mean? That means next year, if he gets better, like we all believe he's going to get better. So you could lie to yourself if you want to, but we all believe that he's going to get better. Then we won't be in those situations where we gotta win. We gotta put something together in the last 2 minutes. But the beautiful thing about Caleb is knowing that he can actually do that. And yes, so if we need it, he can do it.
That is in and of itself what I try to get anybody to understand. Anybody who would give me the critique. The only thing that when people talk about come from behind wins this year, I throw that in the garbage, to be honest, as much as I do strength of schedule and quarterback records. You can tell me about one score games, and we can have more of a conversation. Only because I do understand how one score games do fluctuate from year to year. And you typically don't continuously have success in one score games on a consistent basis. Either you're going to learn how to win a bit better than that, or you kind of regress. That's what the trend kind of shows you. But the defense played sub-average all year and injured. No matter whatever the reason is, I don't think they'll be the same. Special teams had, I agree with you. 3/4 of the year was kind of bad to average before they finally put it together at the end of the year. Hightower saved his life. And then the offense throughout the course of the year was consistently inconsistent. The offense, not the quarterback, T. Miles. The offense was consistently inconsistent throughout the year. That right there, if we had as a statement, I would agree with. We Did not do that.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
The offense.
We didn't run the ball effectively, consistently, which is always going to affect your quarterback because now he has to throw more because you can't get 4 or 5 yards a rip when you run. That affects your timing of the offense. It affects moving the chains. Just real quick on that, I just want to add this little note on completion percentage. Caleb Williams was 32nd in the league with 58% completion percentage. You can't run from that. Patrick Mahomes was 62%. He ain't doing that much more. Okay. Trevor Lawrence, a playoff quarterback, was 60%. We could talk about completion percentage and who's doing what and how they doing this, that, and the other. Dude, at the end of the Drake May, 72%. Congratulations. You know what I'm saying? There's only you need the guys that can make plays. Mac Jones got a higher completion percentage than Brock Purdy. He wasn't starting in that playoff game. You want playmakers, man. You want guys. And the beautiful thing about Caleb, this is only year 2. Mac Jones been in the league a long time. Jared Goff been in the league a long time. Of course, he better be throwing 68%. Daniel Jones, Josh Allen.
On productivity in terms of an actual coach
or
an actual system as they make field goal.
Yes. So while you may not be happy with these untimely interceptions that you felt, at the same time, were we in position to win? Were we in position to win? What was our record for the season? Were we in position to win when we were in the playoffs? Did we beat the Packers? Yes. So you could tell me about completion percentage all day. At the end of the day, I want the man that can take me down the field and let's go get it done. And I stand by this, man. That running game not doing what we needed it to do affected us big time. Now I don't know if it was the play calls or if it was the running back or if the O-line kept getting pushed back, which the Rams ain't no slouches. But it could have been all of those things, or it could have been one. But that running game, we should have been able to get that ball in when we was on the 1. DeAndre Swift going on the outside and then trying to jump over a dude. Come on, man. Come on, bro. Like, that's stuff that we got to fix, and that will only help Caleb in the coming seasons. So while everybody's talking about us getting defensive players, listen, I'm also looking at give me a running back, dude. Give me like somebody that I know can go in there and get me the 1, 2, 3 yards when we get to the goal line. So that's why I stand. I stand on that. I see the comments, but I stand on that.
That's funny to me right there because we exonerate everybody in a run play, just like when we see
nobody has better weapons than Caleb. What? I'm sorry. All right.
We exonerate
sorry, bro.
Everybody from run blocking on plays that usually work for your player. Like, for example, we expect Kyle Monungai to be a bowling ball to go straight up the middle. True or false?
Yes, that's how they were using him.
Okay.
Yes.
So oftentimes when he's bounced to the outside, he loses yards.
Yes.
He got to improve in that.
I agree.
DeAndre's most successful runs come to the outside.
To the outside.
And so
yes.
When I see those not happen, for me, especially on the left side, when we got a backup out there playing, I blame more on execution of everybody. Run blocking, like all 22s get to show you where Rome gets a little lax because he don't want to push up on that heel too hard. And so he's a bit more reluctant to block. Or Luther Burden don't give his all on a certain given block when somebody don't get 1 yard. And we see who don't get the 1 yard. And we don't see who lazy ass blocked in front of him to help him get that 1 yard, because you had to put all of it into it, not 85%, not 42%. And we can see if you don't kick out to your side to do things the right way, as far as what do you call it? Your assignment.
Your job. Doing your job.
It can go wrong for you out there. So I do understand how.
Real quick.
I'm checking it. We absolutely getting it. I already see it, brother. I got to have somebody out there that look better than me on these streets, so y'all stay around, man. What we talking about? We can give y'all some presence out here, so everybody can be everybody. No, but it is funny you speak of that because I read an article today that talks about the replacement game of the running back. And T-Mont said, what team has 3 legit receivers, ridiculous tight ends, 2 good backs? Sir, how many of those teams that you speak of, besides I would go into anybody who's been in a league for the first year? You speak of functionality, because I was a Pistons guy. For Larry Brown, team is better than your perceived weapon, because I love Rome in name, but Rome got things to prove. So don't give me 3 great receivers in anything right now. Seriously, I like Rome, but you got work to do. Luther's in his rookie year. Show it to me again next year to be legit. And everybody except me, and I'm being hyperbolic right here, want to get rid of DJ. So I like our weapons. Nobody, when I started this show in the off season, was pining for us to keep Cole Kmet. So now all of a sudden he just a ridiculous tight end. We can fan about it, and I like him. But I know what the weapons produce. I know what they will learn to be one day. But it takes more than just what we speak of in terms of they anticipated offensive output. I think like Detroit still may not have quote unquote 3 legit receivers, but I think they damn sure got 2, and 1. Because
the Rams, bro. Like I don't, bro. The Rams.
You got Puka.
The Rams got everybody.
You got
number 1 offense in the league.
I'm trying to understand what a first year coach with his system and new players. Domination was not expected. I know people who didn't expect us to win this year. Now all of a sudden that we did. Everybody expected style points with wins. Like, make it make sense to me to understand that I was on the crazy train, the optimism, motor speedway, and everything else when I came with my 11, 12 wins this year. I was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But now, everybody expects a team who they said was going to win 7 games. Wasn't going to win much of nothing. Don't expect anything out of them. Now, all of a sudden, they supposed to win by 12 every game. I thought there was steps to everything. And this year, despite what people thought, our steps of winning as a team came together. The culmination of being able to put a W on the board. Next year, you look at a team in terms of execution from start to finish, putting the team away, keeping your foot on their neck, and style points. That's what that coming year is.
We should be winning. Yes, I think next year we should be winning the way the Lions were winning.
You should be a machine next year. Maybe not your best well-oiled, but you should be a way better machine than right now.
Yes.
The Rams got bona fide tight
2
ends.
receivers, no bona fide tight ends. So you don't look at the okay. So I get it.
That's all.
You know what? You just answered it right there. You don't even look at the depth chart. You don't know these teams. That's cool. I get it.
You don't care about them, so they nothing to you.
Yeah. It's no reason to even have this conversation with you,
man. The funny thing about that, while we get back to a Bears type of relation, T. Miles. When I first moved here, 2010 was the Bulls and Cavs playoff game class. So. Obviously, I live in Cleveland, and everybody say, who gonna stick LeBron? So, G-Class, I said, my response got laughed at. I got laughed at like I was telling jokes. I said, Jimmy Butler. And they said, who the fuck is Jimmy Butler? I take that for you, T. Miles. Keep asking who the fuck is whoever around the league, and see don't they show you who they are, because they ain't on your team. I love when people disrespect and disregard my team because they don't know them, or they watch the highlights, or because I don't have no sports in the highlight, I ain't that dude. Everybody can't be Coast and Loveland. But I rest assure you, a whole bunch of people got some cold commits on their team. The tight end position in itself is not overly glorified or looked at in the way that everybody else. No, because you can't tell me Tyler Higbee and they trio of they got a rookie that's coming in right now, a rookie tight end. I'm not telling you I got deep dives on anybody, but to arbitrarily dismiss a player when they have production from that group of players in terms of actual yardage and touchdowns, it's like I don't understand how you can do that. I can't. That's like people saying Kyle Monunga ain't ish because he didn't get 1,000 yards this year. You see what I'm saying? Like, because they don't know him, they would just throw it out there unless you saw a highlight. I don't know everything about a lot of those guys, but when we talk about the weapons that other teams have, because we're not exposed to them on a week-to-week basis, I think it's dismissive to kind of say that nobody else has what we have, especially when it comes to coaches being able to coach them up and do things with them that they can do. But hey,
and realistically, all you got to do is look at the teams that look at the rankings and look at who they got. The teams that are left, they aren't built around one player, or they aren't reliant on just one guy or two guys. If you look at the Rams, Kyron Williams, Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, Tutu Atwell, Kobe Parkinson, Tyler Higbee, Terrence Ferguson. I'm not telling you the positions because I don't need to. I don't need to, man. That should be enough right there for you to be like, oh, well, they kind of match up. Not only that, what are they getting done? Kyron Williams was running the ball on our O-line. We had 2 running backs, and we had trouble running the ball.
I mean,
so you telling me we got 2 running backs just based off of what? That Swift ran for 1,000 yards a season? Like, come on, man. Like, let's be real about where we are. Okay, the Bears can be a lot better, and I expect them to know that and address those concerns this upcoming offseason. There's a number of teams. You look at Seattle. You could look at Denver. Denver got a squad. You look at Denver. You could look at New England.
And Cole 347 yards ain't blowing nobody away. Don't tell me how many weapons we got around him. What I'm telling you is the closest in weapons is the person who can use their team to the best of its disposal. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yes.
I understand what you want to theorize in Madden with names. On paper, we got some formidable people out there. No, Kyle Monunga got more than 700 yards. He got 813 or something like that, I believe. Nonetheless, I ain't pissing on either one of them. DeAndre probably going to be replaced. I know he will replace after next year, but he might be replaced next year, contingent upon what they find. That's just based on
depending on what
they upgrades. Yes. They got a new running back coach. He won't have a different expectation. So we got to understand how the dynamics of the team are going to change, and that's how we started out. When people have high hope for next year, we can disregard the importance of players until they are not on your roster any longer, and then we will truly see the impact. Because that's where I can go with T. Miles when I can say, the tight ends we got or Swift and Monunga, I like them both and I have them next year. It's a whole bunch of fans that couldn't care less. Like, let's get rid of DeAndre and go. And then just to classify, and it may be not the biggest counter argument, but when we talk about Swift jumping over people as opposed to going head on, let me tell you why I think that's better than what you just said. One, in the team of me, I'm not being a battering ram when I don't weigh the type of – I'm not – Monunga's made for physical contact, and his career is going to be shortened because of this physical contact because he loves to smoke. And
that's understandable. That's understandable.
So if I'm able to, because I don't see – if I saw like 35 unsuccessful leaps, then I would say stop doing it. But more times than not, I've seen him get more yards from jumping than not. So if you can avoid contact for real and get extra yards, I would much rather you try to do that in the context he do it. I don't see him trying to do that for 1 yard. I ain't never seen him try to run and jump for 1 yard.
I feel you, Post. I feel you, bro. Right. But if we're talking about trying to get 1 yard, bro, we're at the goal line. Hey, man, put your head down and go get it. That's what I'm saying.
I'm saying somebody
put your head down and go get it. Why are we jumping over somebody trying to jump over somebody on a sideways, on the side angle? Like, come on, man.
I don't see this play where DeAndre and everybody was blocking to the inside and he ran on the outside. The play was blocked that way. That means somebody called that. So I don't care how he decided to be super.
He didn't take the hole, which we saw the same play.
Yeah, they blocked it up to go that way. That's what I'm saying. They didn't block it up for him to go up the middle because he did something unfavorable to us. This is like when we talked about earlier when you talked about Monunga getting the ball snapped through Komet's legs. If Darman don't snap it 35 yards high, it's straight into his arms. And then he runs straight up the middle. The play is the play. You got to execute the play for on all sides for it to be just like they crushing DJ right now for saying how he didn't flatten his route as a receiver. And because I never played receiver, all receivers that give him that criticism, I'm with it. I understand exactly what they're saying because I see what they mean. He can flatten off and at least play DB in the role like Puka Nacua did the week before. I understand that. I'm not disregarding that. But for people to act like Caleb threw to a bad spot, he did not. That was the open spot of the field in the play.
That's where the ball was supposed to go.
Execution didn't happen right. So the when we talk about up the middle, the play wasn't designed for him to go up the middle. Or I believe, because we've seen it all year, he will go fight for the hard yard up the middle. The play wasn't designed that way. So I'm not crushing you for like I crush you for dancing in the hole. Because that's on you. Stop dancing and go. It's there. But a dive or some other type of thing that you decide to do to try to get it, I don't know what you're saying right then and be like, could you get it any other way? Go ahead.
Right. Okay. So on it, and I hate to just stop it at just one particular play, but on that play, what we're talking about is goal line, and you said the play was designed for him to go outside, right? So why not hit for the pylon? Why am I trying to jump over a guy on an angle? Like, to me, that was his decision to make, and it was a bad decision.
Oh, and
that's all I'm saying.
I can go with that, but what I'm saying is your premise was take the easy yard up the middle, and that wasn't the play design.
If I got a choice between if I got a choice between jumping over somebody on an angle or going up the middle, I'm gonna take go up the middle. But if the play design was I'm heading straight for the pylon, then let's go do that. But he didn't do that.
But the play wasn't. But we talking about everything but what you said. You said up the middle is what we. This where the whole the conversation was. He should go up the middle and get the But if the play wasn't designed up the middle, whether he went to the pylon or anything else is irrelevant because it wasn't up the middle, which is the basis of your conversation in this. And what I'm saying is
that's only an aspect, bro. That's only an aspect. So if you're saying that the play was designed for him to go outside, then he didn't do his job either. On either way, he didn't go up. He didn't make an adjustment, go up the middle, and he didn't go to the outside either.
We disagreed on that part. We talked about. One again, stay in the middle, which you said going up the middle for you said the common sense play. We didn't talk about what they did because what they did was set an outside play, and he compounded that by doing something on the outside that you didn't like. Both of those, all statements can be true, but if we talk about going up the middle, they didn't design a play to do that, nor, in my estimation, did they use right personnel to do it because we know who can go get 1 yard up the damn middle, and they didn't do that. So that's where we get into what I'm trying to say right here, which is you already talked about your coach and the abilities that he has to improve upon when we talk about being consistently inconsistent. Those are the plays that he was consistently inconsistent for me. Short yardage.
I agree.
Up the middle. Not being able to.
Short yardage killed me. Yeah. I'm with you 100%.
Not being able to make those pristine decisions like you said.
That hurt the team.
Tough yard.
Yes.
Don't get cute right there if you want to say. And while I don't mind cute, if it's successful, you understand that the personnel that was used in the play we just discussed might have been improper to start with. And the play design, if we want to go with the notion that it wasn't designed to go up the middle. Either way, something was amiss on the play. If it was designed to go up the middle and they had Swift up there, think it was a bad call. If it was designed to go to the outside, think it was a bad call. Either way, it wasn't a good call, and it started out with your coach.
Yeah. We definitely agree with that, yes.
And so we started here. Wonderful hire, improved the schematics of the team, the way we practice, the way the attitude and the mindset, so on and so forth, the coaching staff assembly, everything. On the whole, what is your grade and any other side note you got for your coach and head coach, Ben Johnson?
I got to go with a B. Overall, this has been his first year coaching. He was used to just handling the offense. Now you got to handle all aspects of the team. You got to deal with personalities. You got to check the morale. You're dealing with individuals as well as a group, and just learning how to do all of that and still holding them to the standard, which is difficult, man. To holding people to standards is tough. Holding grown men to a standard is tough. And he's a young coach. This is his first time, so a lot of times you have these people in the locker room, and they'll be like, who's this guy? I'm not listening to him and whatnot. But I think overall he did a fantastic job. I would like to see, one of the things that I would like to see him improve for next year, and I don't want to be broad and say his play calling, but what I will say is I want to see him improve his situational awareness.
Okay.
His situational awareness. I think in some cases we saw him go away from running the ball when you had just had an entire quarter of success doing it. Yes, we saw him make some questionable calls on the goal line. Listen, if Ben thinks the way I think he does, and I think he thinks this way, once he gets to the goal line, we got 4 chances to get it in. If that's the case, let's cut it out, man. Let's get to it. All right. Let's not get cute. Let's not, like you said, you already said it. But I would like to see him improving in those ways, and just hey man, killing the other team. Like, if we killing it with Colston, just keep killing it. You know what I'm saying? If we killing it with the run, just keep doing it. If DJ, whoever's on the team, if DJ, if Rome, if whoever, if we are destroying them doing that, let's keep doing that until they stop it. You know what I'm saying? I would love to see those runs a little bit more, but overall, I'm gonna give him a B, man. I thought he was really, really good this year.
And that's funny right there. One, just so we know, last year T Miles would have gave Caleb a C-. This year C+. Okay.
Okay.
I didn't give Caleb a grade, but
two whole.
Yeah, it would have been a solid B. Just like I said, I seen vast improvement. The things that do need to be improved, I have zero doubt that they will be improved upon in a myriad of ways. Because the coach said so, and I believe in the coach, which is why in this instance, hey, me and T Miles gonna have to go in the same direction here. I ain't think I'll be saying that in the stream. And I'm gonna give out this A- because I think despite some of those situational calls or what have you, and the opportunities that he'll have to get better with personnel, I believe that almost every string was pulled appropriately, if that makes sense. I don't think that the orchestration of the way in which things were done, who they were done to, and how they were done were at all out of line. And I say it like this: the things that make you smile make you cry. And that's the adage that I've heard before. And people are quick to praise all of the ingenuity and creativity that one Ben Johnson has. Yet, on the same notion, they really don't want him to be creative and display any ingenuity, because they want what quote unquote is working to continue to work. And I think the way that things continue to work is with modification, with wrinkle, and with a little bit of sprinkle. And so if I have a 8-minute drive of success with the run, yes, I will take it. But to say that in 8 minutes I'm not going to throw the ball or do things that may not be anticipated by the defense is kind of, I think it's counterproductive to the person that we have, just like our quarterback. He's a risk taker, and he's a backyard football player in a lot of ways. And I don't think that if you try to smother the backyard portion of his game, I think you dim a bright light. And so the same way with the plays that people would classify as cute for being, I classify or criticize, I guess, based on your track record and level of success. And if you had a level of success, a level of failure with these quote-unquote cute plays, trick plays, deceit plays, I would rail against it. But the things that we hired, or I think the Bears hired him for, included those types of plays. So I won't ever try to, as much as I want to be a coach, while I'm watching the game, I won't ever have a preference for how you try to make the sausage. I want you to make it. Sometimes it's not going to be pleasing to me, but there are nuances that I don't get to understand. There are things we never get to see via the All-22 that we get to discover on our own G that truly show us that just how we saw it is not indeed exactly what was going on. And so we can talk about all plays from a straight run up the middle to a perfectly executed pass to your lineman by your quarterback in L.A. before the Bears punched it out. The play was executed perfectly. Somebody else did something to make it not so successful. But I ask you, that play right there that I referred was a thrown to a lineman, and he fumbled like 7 yards down the field. If I threw that to my tight end and he fumbled 7 yards down the field, it's still a fumble. But nobody would say I got cute with that play because he fumbled. They're going to be like, oh, he shouldn't be handling the ball because he don't catch the ball and he don't do this. Things I know nothing of because I ain't there. No day to know what he do. I know what his primary job is. I know what he good at. Or great at, I should say. I don't know what he good at. There might have been, let's think about this seriously. We got linemen that used to be tight ends. But in the league, it behooved them to pick up weight and go be a lineman to prolong their career. That don't mean that dude couldn't ever catch the ball. It just wasn't his best thing to do. That don't mean he's incompetent of doing so. But when it goes right, he's a genius. When it goes wrong, you got too cute. And so I don't ever try to get into the thought process of in, out, cute, short. I want you to score. I want you to be consistent with your offense. I want you to move the ball down the field. And my cute for me is what I saw against Green Bay in the first half. Don't go for it on fourth down every damn time like this Madden. That's cute to me. Don't do that, please. That would be my minus for you right there when I talk about coaching blind spots as far as a critique. And I know there's going to be probably the only person who can see it that way, but don't do that right there. Don't be out here that's totally overthinking your skis right there when we're going to fourth down it till the wheels fall off. Don't video game me with with how things go and I can get with it because I've never seen us I ain't seen too many trick plays on video games. So those things only really happen in the big show. But the other stuff, I mean, I got to take the good with the bad, I guess, and I get about at least 80% good, 20% bad. But if I got to give him a grade, like I said, A- is going to be mine for him today, just because there are a few things that I think he can improve upon, but those things I think take him to an A+ stratosphere as opposed to him trying to ascend into the A category. Because for a first year, I think he did everything, well, I would say a large majority of things extremely well, and a couple things that he needs to improve upon. So that's why I give him an A-. And the coaching staff he assembled. I cannot forget in which he assembled a world-class staff that's reluctantly being poached as we speak.
And you can look at his history if you want, but our running backs coach got a offensive coordinator position. Mm-hmm. When does that happen? It don't. Although the league is changing a little bit, and I know it's Bieniemy and it's his old team, but whatever. It's the stat is the stat. All right. We got other guys who are getting interviewed for defensive coordinator positions. Did Al Harris take it?
No.
Or did they offer him a job yet?
He just had an interview. Don't speak like that, man.
Okay.
You gotta give me all.
Hey, man, listen. It's the reality, man.
That's one of the things I got in there too, man, with coaches and everything like that. Because, man, you expect that after like what I call true success, it speaks to the level of notice that the league takes. And to speak on what you just talked about right there, T. Miles, all of those things that we just spoke about right there, those are the reasons that being got the A- for me, because sometimes your aggression can go against you, but I don't knock the aggression because that is what makes him. That's how we got 82 explosive plays, is for things like that. And what he was trying to do right there was in the game right then. As crazy as that may sound, he was eliminating risk by getting rid
I
of it
agree.
all and having field goal range right in that instant.
And you know what? On that play, he trusted not only his quarterback, but he trusted the wide receivers to run the proper routes, which they did not do. You go back and look at that play, you could see Rome and DJ slow down at the same time, which makes no sense to me whatsoever.
Luther's slow down brings this man into traffic that he shouldn't have brought him into. You brought another DB around you. That's when he broke off.
All of that matters. All of that matters. So you could miss me with that. We don't need it. We didn't need that throw. You could miss me with that, dude. I'm not even trying to hear that. There's a certain way that this thing was supposed to go down, and it didn't go down that way.
Execution. The play was open. The space was open. I know exactly what he wanted to do right there was to get you to the 20 because that's where we would have been. Kick the field goal, mitigate all the
game time,
fumbles, and we can just go home because Kyro can kick in this.
Yes.
Unfortunately, like you said, it didn't go that way, and so when it don't go your way, that's when the coach is gonna get scrutinized, and it's understood that everybody should take the blame that they take on it when things don't go right. That's why I said, that simplistic play right there is just the same as a trick play. It's getting the same type of scrutiny that a trick play would, quote unquote. So that's why I don't hold as much. I don't hold much refrain to him opening the playbook up and doing whatever he think may happen. Because while I don't want you having lined Caleb up, 6-7 times a year, once or twice ain't bad. Just to do some crazy things right there. No, it wasn't throwing the ball away. He's throwing to an open spot.
It ain't about that.
There wasn't no pressure or nothing. He was throwing to a spot. Everybody didn't do their job. There wasn't no flush out or nothing else, T. Miles. There wasn't no just ill-advised chuck the ball because he had to get it out of his hands. He threw the ball to a space that you're supposed to be in. What you do
that he was supposed to be there, yes.
Throw to an open space. I don't throw to the receiver. I throw with anticipation. DJ didn't flatten hard enough. Luther brought his man too far.
He didn't flatten at all. That route was rounded. You're right. And he been doing little stuff like that all year.
Okay. What I caution anybody to do is, and I know nobody wants to do it, is go through his whole damn career and find those, because I'm not going to believe it just started last year. But all of a sudden, because we care to look at it on our team specifically, because I'm willing to bet when Justin was his receiver, he did it a couple times. We didn't notice it because he was the only weapon.
No, I saw it, and it's not new. But what I'm saying is, the scrutiny is higher now because of the coordinator and the offense that he's trying to run. I've been saying this for the longest. I'm not sure if DJ, while I love to have him, I'm not sure that he can run the routes the way Ben Johnson's offense requires them to be ran. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I hope that makes sense.
Ocho to the Patriots. See that?
Yeah.
Just not to their detriment, but also what Ben has understood. It wasn't live to play another down. They was okay. What Ben understands is that I don't think most of us understand that. Just like Caleb has uncoachable things as the quarterback, DJ, unlike any of his other receivers, has things you cannot coach. And so there has to be a healthy medium.
Yes.
Or compromise in there. And everybody else sees it that
which is
he don't button up tight enough, where he will never button up tight enough in my estimation. But I think that's why his productivity in terms of the volume will be diminished.
Will always be limited. Yes, I agree with you 100%.
It's like no block, no rock. But it's
and the other thing, I agree with you 100%. I was hoping we get into this conversation a little bit. Well, we're doing it right now. But the other thing too is that Ben Johnson, it could become one of these situations like, well, I trust you to do this, this, and this, but I can't trust you to do this, this, and this. So we won't call you on those plays anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I can't trust you to run the route properly, then I won't even put you out there on that. Like he said, he was like, if it's anybody's fault, it's my fault. That's what Ben said. If it's anybody's fault, it's my fault. I need to coach that up better, which means either you run the route properly or we won't be calling you for that route no more. You know what? You just sit in the backfield. You know what I'm saying? As a decoy.
And let me just give one more thing to you out here, because you still can't see. You must wear glasses, T Miles.
Defending a pick,
listen, because
you got to look at more than just the result of the play. You actually have to watch what they were intending to do on the play.
He ain't gonna see it, so maybe gonna get to another game, and we maybe this might help him out here. Luther Burden, Caleb threw an interception in the game, the week before that, I believe, in the Packer game. Luther should have cut outward to the pylon. Instead, he cut in. The safety intercepted the ball because Luther didn't go to the right spot. As a quarterback, T. Miles, you throw the ball to a space. Caleb threw to the right space. DJ did not, in turn, cut his route off once the DB noticed where the ball was going. That is why you flatten your route. Not because of the quarterback, because your defender recognizes where the ball is going as well. So to beat him there, you flatten your route. It is not anything to do with where the quarterback threw the ball. The ball was through to a space, the correct space. The wide receivers did not get to that space in time. So there is no live to fight another day in that instance.
I don't understand. What I'm not understanding is that because he doesn't have an argument. What I'm not understanding is if Rome and DJ, and do you think you have 5 seconds to throw a pass? If Rome and DJ are running downfield that far, and then one is supposed to flatten around, the other one is supposed to round it, which Rome was supposed to round it, I guarantee you. And then you look at DJ, he was supposed to flatten. Looking at where the defenders were, it's not some kind of let me go win the game on this play kind of pass. That's not what happened right there. He was throwing it to a spot, and he's throwing it a long way. You don't have he didn't see DJ slow down when he came out of his progression. How would he see that? He was supposed to. He's throwing it, and they've practiced this, so he knows by the time he gets up there. All right, I gotta let it go so that it can get him to that spot. Bro, you can't just dismiss that and be like, oh well, because it became a pick. Oh, it was a terrible pass. It's more to it than that. Cut this out, man.
I just gave him the example when Luther ran the wrong route the week before. Is that on Caleb as well? Because what I'm telling you, because you still don't understand, I throw to a space. I threw to the right spot. They didn't get to the spot quick enough. Yes, Caleb made the right play. I said
he made the right play. What you mean? Did he make the right play?
Because what I'm getting from this, and I could be wrong, T. Miles, it says he intended to make a game-winning play, i.e., you telling me Caleb did some old steaming Willie Beeman-ish right in the middle of my game. It was a run play, and he said, no, we're going to throw the ball, and I'm going to get a...
Yeah,
that's what you telling
me?
He
audibled out, yeah.
You telling me that was a run play that he threw the ball on? Let me know. Maybe I'm misinterpreting how Caleb because he not Caleb making those kind of calls. Really? That's what we doing? He said interception was the right play. No, the interception was the result of what happened. It's not a play to throw an interception. That's crazy. No, I'm not even reading you. I'm not doing that no more. I need to, because he bleeds the same color as I do in fandom. I need you to understand I need you to understand football in real time. If we're gonna cheer for the same team because you represent the same team, and I want you out here arguing with other people in this way because they gonna laugh and not entertain us as Bears fans. This is for the education of us, brother. Interception is never the play. A fumble is not the play. It's
never the play.
It's a result of the ball not being held onto.
Yes, and you got to look at why that happened. It can't just be, well, it happened. Why did that happen?
Remember, you said that because we keep trying to tell you the interception is not a play. I don't know if you know that in football, interception is not a play call. You don't say, okay, interception on 3. 1, 2, 3, intercept. That's not a play call. So you telling me The play I gave you a week before, when he threw the ball to the outside, no, you just keep trying to conflate that. I said Caleb made the right play. You keep saying the interception was the play. No, Caleb threw the ball to the right area. The DB recognized that and beat the wide receiver there. That's what you not understanding. That ain't got nothing to do with you anticipating or jumping me. If I'm the person on the line and Myles Garrett jumps the snap count and gets in there before I get into my play, I didn't make the wrong play. He made a better play. What are we talking about? That's what a sack, an interception, a fumble is. The running back didn't make the wrong play by running. Yes. Did he make the right play? Yes, he did. What are you not hearing? I'm going to type it for you in a minute, T-Miles. Yes, Caleb Williams made the right play on the play that ended in an interception. That's how you're supposed to phrase
yes,
that.
on the play that was called, he made the right play.
That's how you're supposed
that
to
is correct.
phrase that so that you understand it and make other people understand it to be true. Caleb Williams made the right play on the play that ended in an interception. But I digress.
And you bringing up Caleb, not you, Post, but T-Miles bringing up Caleb. Are you dismissing what DJ Moore didn't do? Like, it goes both ways, right? If I throw the ball, somebody got to catch it. Caleb did not show in a propensity to be throwing the ball or putting the ball in
arm's way, random space.
To throw the ball, yes, or throwing the ball with reckless abandon. That's not what he showed you, especially at that point. So I'm not understanding this.
Amen, brother.
Ken, I agree. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. That's the play that was called. Literally, because if you look, all you got to do is look and see who was doing what. If Rome was supposed to pull your two D-backs to the left side of the field, Luther was supposed to pull somebody down. That would open up that spot for DJ.
Thank you. Now, going to the Green Bay game, week 14, when we lose, when Caleb throws the interception in the back of the end zone. That is a bad play by Caleb in terms of how he executed the play. You short-armed a pass that you should either throw where only your tight end can get it, or it's out of the back of the end zone. Nobody else supposedly had the carte blanche to that. But instead, you threw a little piss missile of a skip rock in there, and it came right to the person. Throwing the ball away is the right decision when the play calls for it, i.e. you were flushed out of the pocket, you were about to take a sack, so to avoid a sack, you threw the play away, or everybody was covered up, so you threw it away. Nobody was covered. The space was open, and he threw to the right spot. The play I just told you about with Cole Kmet, when he threw to the back of the end zone, and it was picked off by Nation, whatever that dude named like the wine on the Packers team. Caleb made a bad play in that one right there. But the
I think it was Knicks.
Knicks. Caleb made a bad play. The play call was right. In this instance, bad route by everybody involved. You can watch DJ slow up and not flatten his route. You can watch Rome slow up straight down the middle, because the ball ain't going to him, which you're supposed to keep going, so you draw that man with you.
That's what I'm saying. He didn't see him shortening up.
You don't see
because he had to throw it by the end. The ball is in the air. Come on, man.
It's timing and rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a dance step. Boom. It's not wait until I see you breaking, then I start throwing there. Interception. That is the quickest way to get interceptions, because now everybody is knowing what I'm doing. I done showed you what I'm doing.
Or a sack. Or you get a sack, you holding it too long.
Thank you. Like
which is what they've been trying to get Caleb out of doing, and he showed progression in that.
This year. They coached him out of mistakes. Yeah. Damn, coaching him to be better this year. They coached him out of mistakes, which was the purpose of my video when we started it. And the first person who said I'm showing a highlight reel and glossing over Caleb's bad play, is my buddy T. Miles. And I love it because he always going to be there to support and give his opinion. I'm going to laugh at a lot of them, and we're going to get plenty of opportunity to discuss them. But throwing to the area.
I appreciate the opinion. Yes. I just don't think it should be as one-sided as he's making it. He's saying it's all on Caleb because he should have thrown it away when it's a clear timing play. And if everybody had done their job, which is what you expect as a quarterback. Matter of fact, that's what you demand, because they demand for you to make good decisions with the ball as far as placement and holding on to it. So if you run your route, like you do your job like you're supposed to do, then I'm going to do my job. He placed the ball where it was supposed to be. DJ didn't do his job. And now we paid for it as a team. It is what it is.
That's how it goes in a lot of.
I guarantee it ain't gonna happen next year, because I tell you, Ben Johnson ain't going for it
at all for everybody. And when we speak about that right there, while we talk about everybody, we don't know who will be here, but we know who was here this year. So to take a quick detour into last grade before we talk about some upgrades, my GM gets a lot of scrutiny, much like my quarterback has. And he don't nearly get as much of the praise as my quarterback gets this year. So I'm grading on the curve because I heart Ryan Poles a little bit more than most people.
Than a lot of people? Because I don't know if I heart him.
Yeah, I heart him. Yeah, I ain't got to be in love with you to love you, brother. And I love you, brother, because people give you not enough credit for the things you do. And they give you way too much blame for things that are all mutual. And yes, we have to see football different if you think anybody's making excuses for an interception.
Not making an excuse.
Absolutely no excuse made for anybody. In fact, if anybody makes excuses, I make excuses for DJ more than anybody when he talks about Caleb and connection. And whether he like him and everything else, I'm always a person getting the arrows flung at me for DJ, because that's my guy out there. But he should not have dumped it or dirtied it. I don't know what you were talking about right there, but I'm glad I don't have a son, for one. And I don't
understand how throwing an interception was his only option when clearly throwing a completion was the clearing
coach my Pop Warner team. My kid ain't learning T. Maybe you could be the hydration coach or something like that. Man, you got to be down the chain on the line. Like, I know you got to be a motivator. I know you're gonna tell them when they suck. You ain't gonna hold no punches. But even if you lying, you can get them fired up. But coaching, I don't know if I'm gonna let you get X's and O's out there. Like, sometimes that's just like me blaming a quarterback for an interception when it go off a receiver hands or something. Like, I'm sorry to tell you, read better. Oh my God. You're right. I am gonna read better, and we're gonna read these grades. I am giving my man Ryan Poles a B+ for this year's grade right here. Ryan has been much maligned, and I think in many given years people will give him Fs. Not only do we have the highest rated draft class this year, i.e. the best draft, and that's in conjunction with a coach. Ironically, when people say, "Oh, it's Ben drafting these players," that's not true. I don't know what didn't happen, but Ben and your GM. Imagine when a coach has a vision that is a good vision, and your GM goes out and gets players to help him see or actualize a vision. This year, I believe that Ryan had a coach and a staff that had a real vision, i.e. they were able to create a real grocery list, and Ryan did almost everything on one side of the ball to give you that, like, perfectly almost, like chef's kiss, how he delivered on it. You know, they questioned Jonah Jackson early. Jonah, first 2 games, it was justifiable question. Then Jonah turned it up, started being your best guy. I wasn't talking about no tip at that time, man. I wasn't talking about no tip right there. I was just giving you an example. Okay. So when you think about the tackles, the interior line, the wide receiver acquisition, the ability to see a 7th round gem, continually filing undrafted free agency, Tyson Bagent, and my man Jade Walker for results. Darnell Wright turned into a player that he drafted before he got here, but he knew he was a mauler, and that player is actually turning into what Ryan said he would be. And you kind of understand that while the bulk of the good things that we talk about can be celebrated in Ben's era, a lot of those players were still here before Ben. And those players were acquired by Ryan. Okay, we might halfway agree on. I might try to make a concession and make it make sense, even though the space wasn't covered, which is what he's supposed to be running to. But I get you. The acquisition of player I think was paramount this year in the way in which I've always given, and I may have given him too much of a pass with mea culpa. I said that the year before Ryan made improvements on the line that were short-sighted in the way in which he can get them done. And I think that some of that short-sightedness was signed off on by the coaches because they didn't have true vision. And I believe that he does indeed have the ability to go out and recruit what it is that you as a coach wants and find ways to get it. And I think that that ability in itself, coach down the player, should be this year giving some bows to say that everything seemed to work this year. I anticipate that getting better for you in future years. And while it took longer than, I don't know how long it took you to get settled into a GM job. I guess it took longer than most of us wanted it to. Now, I think he, like the coach and the quarterback, is starting to maybe settle into his role to be above average and one of the good ones at it. So my grade is a B+ for him. G-Class, what is the grade you give Ryan Poles this year in the job he's done?
I give Ryan a B. No, I give him a C. And I don't know that might seem a little harsh, but I got to give him a C just because of the work that he did on the one side of the ball, or maybe I should say like we were able to see the results. Maybe that's it. We saw the fruitage of their decisions. They did go offense heavy. Excuse me. They did go offense heavy in the draft and in the offseason overall. And a lot of the guys that he actually, drafted or he put into place, he was able to, they actually produce for him. Even some of the guys like a Darnell Wright who's been here for a while, were able to raise their level. So, I mean, a lot goes into that, coaching and the players' mentalities. So overall, I'm going to give him a C. But to me, and this is going to sound bad. I know it's going to sound bad because you asked me to give you my grade for the year, but I think that this is a 2-year. To me, it's got to be a 2-year grade because I want to see what he does this upcoming offseason and if he's able to address some of these things on the defense. And if he's able to, I listen, Ryan Poles, which he don't care, but he would be in my good graces from now until, what I'm saying? If he's able to make these upgrades on defense, like we all know and feel like he needs to try to attack this offseason. But for now, I give him a C.
You see, those are the things that help me give him a B+ and possibly more. I just started this whole thing off here by speaking on one player, just one, that Ryan drafted and signed and re-signed. This guy named Kyler Gordon that takes your defensive metrics from 24 to 4, who didn't play but 4 games this year.
Yeah.
And I can play a lot of Derrick Rose games with this defense right now in terms of what if. Because if the defense
with a lot of injuries,
if presently constituted had performed the way that it did this year, fully healthy all year, then I would go with your C or anything else that people wanted to say. But in fact, I'm being too harsh because I'm using the defense against you when in fact the defense should not totally be used against you. Only specific signings, and that would only be, and I can only say that based on the fact that how your season ended, they are Dangbo. Because I think most times we are quick to get rid of many people, including the Bears, and I'll tell you why. One of the most impactful defenders we had in the playoffs this year, in my opinion, is this guy named Dominique Robinson. Tell me where he been all year. Toiling away, sitting on your bench, maybe playing special teams, not totally realizing his potential, practicing good, whatever the case is. What I'm saying is this. He got at least to the end of the year to go ahead and finally prove to to the coaches on defense, even by necessity, that he can make plays and be relied upon in pressure situations, even if that's not going to be the long term. He got to prove it. Dale got injured week 7 or something like that, if it was that long, and hasn't played since.
I don't know if it was that. I don't know if it was that long. Let me check it out.
You got at least 10 weeks that he ain't played ball and not been able to overcome or add to his skills that they would say he really don't have. Maybe he don't have skills. Maybe he only have a motor. But maybe this year was supposed to be the year that he developed his motor into actual tangible skills to go with the motor. And so, you talk about development. Maybe they sign players, and this may be foolhardy for us because the level of patience may not be there, where, you draft a player and you draft him and he's raw. And they're like, well, it's going to take a few years for him to even, get to the level that we want him to, a Ruben Hippolyte type. But I need the player because the clay is so moldable that I think when I finish with it, it's going to be X, Y, and Z. And I think sometimes because we don't see the instant fruits of a labor, we are quick to summarily dismiss it. So we got players like Shamar Turner, who was hurt very early on, didn't get to get his rookie year going. Not to mention his rookie year was shortened before it started. And some of that's due to the players you guys picked. Homework on injuries and everything like that, I don't know. They do need to work on some training upgrades this year, if you ask me. Way too many soft tissue injuries. I don't know what's that attributed to, but something got to be different there. But when you are able to still lean into the defense as not being a total liability for the whole of the season and know that they did some things that was pretty decent despite the injuries, is why I give Ryan the grade that I give him, because I think if next year he gets to, one, like you said, have a couple other people be further developed in the system that are already here, and then they get to start to prune the system for what you actually want. And I say that because the defense was number 5 in payroll in terms of what it was allocated to the defense. So if that was number 5, you got to wait for some years to go before you can get rid of or shed players, trade players, so on and so forth. Otherwise, I got to kind of make do with what I got because I signed him. So if I did sign a player to a bad contract, maybe the whole situation is like, what do you call it? How can I put it? My coach is more integrated in the way in which these players are being cultivated. So the players that I did draft, I got more of a confidence that he will be able to get the most out of those players, as opposed to me in years past knowing that the players that were drafted,
I get you. Yeah. You saying it's all right, the culture and what's expected is set. So
the coaches are going to get more out of the player throughout the course of the year. Like we saw that for the rookies throughout the course of the season, that they were able to adapt and work in. Progress is not linear, and so maybe everybody didn't make the ascent at the same time. Maybe on the defense, because of availability or a lack thereof, everybody didn't get locked into the classroom the way they needed to, because you in the training room half the time, and so the schemes and what I demand of you is not there. Or I can't do a proper evaluation because I really got to deal with what I got, because we spent a lot of money on this defense. So before we start cutting it, let's really see if these are the players that we can win with. And next year, you get to look at what we go into right now, which is what I call upgrades. Upgrades can be in the form of...
For me, I don't want to...
Go ahead.
I don't want to cut anybody from the defense, but what I am looking at is I guess I should have probably been a little bit more clear. The potential for upgrades. I know we signed Dio Adingbo. He got injured. Just to give you the specific, he got injured in Week 9 in the Cincinnati game. Okay. That's crazy. Okay. But he did only end up with one sack if we're counting those. And his pressures, while he had a couple games early, his pressures weren't really there for the season. But I don't. I guess what I'm saying is I don't want them to get stagnant or be so reliant on the development of other guys. I just me personally give me one other. What do you say? Somebody that I can count on. Yeah. One, just give me one. That we could absolutely count on and be like, okay, this is what we're getting from them every time. Yeah. That would make me feel better.
But what I think, and this is where, because I totally agree with you there. I think that when people look at a signing like a Dayo Adingbo, they look at it like we were attempting to sign another, for lack of a better term, Montez Sweat. And
right.
I don't believe that was the case. One, the contract that you signed really is not commensurate with these elite players that people speak of. It's just a chunk of money that we see is too much because he got $34 million guaranteed. Like, okay, I see what somebody might say on the average because it looks like a lot of money. But for real difference maker players, they get more money than that. And what they saying is with that, because you get money based on potential, they see him fitting into a secondary or tertiary tier when it's all said and done for the productivity of them, not an elite anything. They think he's going to be nice and above average, if you ask me. Whereas certain players you draft because you think they're going to be blue chip. I don't think they drafted Manunga. I think he's going to be a Pro Bowler. But they did draft him with the anticipation that he's going to be good. And so I think there's different levels of good that need to be expected of all players. And I think that we have our own false expectation based on the contract level of what we think we're supposed to get out of somebody. Like, for example, speaking of Montez, everybody that I spoke to before the season started were all in agreement that for the money he gets paid, he should at least have double-digit sacks. Fast forward to the end of the season, he finished with 10.5 the regular season. And you know what they all said? Not enough. Wasn't impact sacks. We started just moving that goalpost along. So now what you said was the impetus for at least baseline. It's not baseline anymore. So that's what I think we do with contracts, period. His contract is like 15th in the league. Montez I'm talking about, as far as defensive ends. He ain't like, I may be a little bit liberal with it, but he's not a top 10, top 5 elite pass rusher with the money to go with it. But because he get paid pretty penny, we want him to have 15 sacks a year. They may have never signed him to get 15 sacks a year. You know why? Because he never had double digits consistently. So
no, he's never done it in the first place.
So don't tell me that the GM and everybody else anticipated this dude who's been in the league 5 years, all of a sudden he's going to start just averaging 11, 12 sacks a year. I don't think they expected that. Double digits? Maybe. Meaning 10. A lot of pressures. But they also thought they was going to get some other disruption from people. I don't believe that they thought they was getting this game wrecker for real. Because your boy is safe, and I'm talking your boy, it's my boy, Ryan Post. He's safe in using words like this. Force multipliers. He don't want to call you a game wrecker or a game changer. Unless you really are that dude, he don't use type of real superlatives with anybody but Caleb. Because he want to use some wiggle room for what that means. What the hell does it really mean to be a force multiplier? Because I think Montez is. He get enough attention on him that other people should be able to flourish. They don't, but I think you get enough attention. Not all the attention, enough. That's multiplying, because if you're only multiplying for one other person, that's more than you, i.e. multiply. But how many times? So some people might think that like Myles Garrett, 4 or 5 times multiplier. No, it can just be 2 times 1. He just twice what the other one is, but everybody else 5 times. And so I think our expectation of money oftentimes throws away what $98 million is not game record salary. Go Max Crosby and everybody you trying to trade for right now don't make $98 million. it was the going rate for somebody that you traded for that was on the last year of their deal that was going to need new money, so you had to give them new money, and they wasn't taking no BS deal because you got an agent too. People forget about politics in these games. I have an agent that represents me. He going to get the best bang for my buck. If Ryan Poles had traded for Montez Sweat, a second-round pick, and let him walk in the offseason, you would have wanted him fired that day. Instead, he chose to re-sign the investment that he traded for, just like everybody else would, i.e. a DK Metcalf, a Roquan Smith, you name it. Everybody who traded for a big-name player, they re-sign a player to protect the asset. More money than he may deserve, I won't even argue with you about that. But it's commensurate with what he was deserving of in terms of the league at the time he got the money, and it is not top-notch money. So I didn't expect him to be a game wrecker, nor did they, in my estimation, T-Miles. A game influencer, an effector, yes. Not a game wrecker. Don't think they signed Khalil Mack when they got Montez Sweat. But I won't digress because we still talking about upgrades.
That is interesting. I gotta say, Montez. You come with them stats today, man. And I ain't got much more time left. But you come with them stats today. How many sacks would you say that Max Crosby had this past year?
Not too many this year. I think he had maybe 11 this year. He had a bad year.
Montez Sweat and Max Crosby had 10 sacks.
Oh, okay. Well, Montez had 10 and a half.
I'm seeing 10. I'm seeing 10 total, at least on next gen stats. But and I'll give you one other. Will Anderson Jr. The darling. Him and yes. How many sacks did he have? How many sacks did he have this year?
Because I would think he got at least 15, man. What he got? Don't tell me he got 9 or something.
He got 12, man.
Okay.
He got 12. So
he's not getting paid $20 a year or so.
that's correct. And if you look at as far as sack total, Montez was 15th this year. As far as sack total. Would we like to get?
What's the salary? Hold on. What's the salary for defensive end?
Okay, give me a second. Let me pull that up for you.
2 questions, I guess, to wrap up the stream in general. While we're talking about upgrades, and it's more so what I will encompass it in. I can put it into one. I think I can do this right there, and I want everybody who got some investment in here, T-Miles, especially yourself, everybody who can give me their opinion about the last things here for upgrades.
4 years, $98 million.
Mm-hmm.
About $72 million guaranteed. It runs through 2027.
No, so where is he in terms of his like ranking? Like somebody makes the most at his position. Where's he rank for defensive ends in terms of they put that paper?
He is 5th in average annual value.
And where's Max Crosby? Because he should be close.
Now you're up here asking questions.
I just figured these type of dudes who's making real bread. I didn't think I had to go too low to get Max. I thought I would have been able to go up.
So you want to know what Max Crosby is making?
Yeah. I thought his AAV would have been up there. If Montez was 5, that means he make less.
I get it to you right now. There we go. Max is an edge. Max is.
I think he up for new money this year, perhaps.
32.
So he made
32 and a half.
He made 32.
I'm sorry. Good Lord. 27 million.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Dude, I'm sorry. 32 and a half. I got it right. 32 and a half.
So 10.5 million more.
Yeah. Now next year, it fluctuates. It goes down.
No more T-Miles. They make more than $98 million. 3 years later. You see how that works? It's called inflation.
But he signed an extension this year. This thing goes to 2029.
Montez?
No, Max.
Yeah. I'm speaking of Montez because he said look up 3 years ago to try to tell me what the value of a dollar was in 2022 when I'm trying to tell him
Right. So
is
if you're
signed
looking
versus
at
your
Montez,
agent.
he got the contract in 2024, but he's still way below. Like he 20 million. 20 million, 20 million, 20 million. His last year, 18.9. Like, this ain't no Max Crosby
this ain't
contract.
No game record contract he got.
No,
but that's what I'm saying. But people want game record out of him. And he talking about look back 3 years ago. 3 years ago, 98 was the deal. I bet you 98 ain't the deal these days.
It ain't. You're right.
Like, I'm telling you, his deal, because you got to sign it when you up for it. You can't wait or anticipate. His deal was favorable then. It wasn't a game record then, nor is it now. He didn't have some landscape. He wasn't the highest defensive player when he got traded like Khalil. When we traded for Khalil, he signed the highest defensive player contract in NFL history the day after. That was not the case for Montez Sweat. He just signed an extension.
He earned it though.
I mean, but no,
but
he trying to
contextualize. I know what you're saying.
Bread. He got a new deal because we traded for him. It wasn't record-setting money for the position. No,
it wasn't.
It was new money.
He didn't set the market.
Thank you.
He didn't set the market.
New money for Montez. That was that's what you do in business. As an agent, I'm not coming in taking 82 mil when people who have similar stats to me are getting 90 plus for what you anticipate they will do. That's how that goes. I don't T-Miles. Hey, look, T-Miles. Next time, I'm going to leave the news thing away. We're going to go straight to a Bears classroom, and I'm going to have a small little seat next to me for I ain't use no red herrings. Go ahead and define that for me. I think you just put it around your ass over here. This ain't no Scooby-Doo mystery where I'm trying to throw you off somewhere.
The red herring.
Yeah, like seriously, I should have asked you what that was for before I even gave allusion to what it is. Yeah, boy. Football? Really? Like really? This is my question right here, so we can get on out of here, G. Hey, I told you I need some laughs, and he give them to me. I appreciate it. Oh, my God. Peace to you out here from the Black Couch. From the Black Couch, I want to know, when we're talking upgrades, where, I give you free man arguments. No straw man over here. Just free man. Just me. Where is the most needed area of improvement? Not I need a particular spot on defense that you think of, not just the defense, because we know this might be the area for improvement. Give me the where is the position, the how, meaning we want them trade, we want them draft or a free agent, and if it is a trade, who?
Man, that's tough. Wait, okay, so you saying where do I
where do you
ask again?
What position do we need to focus on most on the defense or on the team? I said defense, my apologies. But area of improvement for the team, what position?
Tough, man. Give me a second. I want to, before I answer that question, I want to check something.
And
I want to check something.
That goes to everybody in the chat. Tell me, what position do you think the Bears should most notably try to address this offseason? The 3 technique? Okay, he wants some disruption up the middle. He want a Simmons type. I can see that.
Listen, that's fair.
I can see that. That's fair. I did see what Don Robb and everybody else, what a little bit of pressure up the middle did for people like Sweat and so on and so forth. So I can definitely see that right there, T-Miles. Because I think Billings and Jarrett's going to be here for another year, but I think Billings is gone, and I think that Jarrett will be kind of phased out. If you can get you a good D tackle in the middle to go along with Shamar Turner, because I think both of them will ultimately be your middlemen. I think Deo is going to really just have to be a rotator in and out, because that's what he does well. I think Dexter may not be here next year, if you ask me. especially I think this may be this might have been his last year on this deal. I don't think that you offer enough to be re-signed. So for me, it's still going to be defensive end, but I would prefer us to get it straight from the draft. So I don't have necessarily a who. I haven't dove into any players besides like Miami and bowl teams that I get to look at some of the players still playing right now to see exactly who might be impactful edge that we can get late first round. Everybody late first round because we down in the 20s, y'all. Oh, it may feel so good, but it makes me feel so bad.
It's been a while. Yeah.
I love it.
To answer your question, so I had to look up some stats just to be sure. We were 29th in yardage given up. We gave up 361 yards a game, man. We know on defense it starts with pressure. So if you want me to give you a position, what are we doing at strong safety? What are we doing? What are we doing at free safety? What are we doing? I
got no reservation about that.
I haven't heard anything though. I love the way Jaquan played that last game. Loved it.
No.
But his injury history makes him a concern. So I
understand that, but this is where and people can't tell me and this is where I used to believe that you can have what we call contract years. I don't believe you have a contract year in availability. How many games did Jaquan Brisker miss this year?
None. He played every game.
Every game. So I understand people can tell me about availability. He's played 3 years in the league, right? 4, maybe at best. And one of them, he played all seasons. One of them was his rookie year, and last year was a miss. So, like, him and Kyler both have that propensity not to be around in terms of availability. If you got to keep, either you're gonna have to draft 2 because he's gonna be gone and Bayer is gonna command enough money where the consideration of him not being there has to be strong because of his age and asking price at this point.
Why 32?
He's 32.
I'm asking you. I can just look it up right here.
And he gonna want
32.
He gonna want at least 2 to quote unquote
at least 2. Yeah, maybe you could get 2 with that 1 year. I mean 1 year with a 2 year
but it's still gonna be
team or player option, something like that. Yeah.
10 to 11 million or something like that. Or the market.
Yeah, and I think that's fair. I think it's fair when you look at his stats. He was second on the team in tackles, tied with Jaquan.
Our team and what we need to do moving forward, our salary cap and everything else. You get those things got to be factored in because you want to factor in age and everything else. Can I get another one of these years out of you?
It's got to be team. It's got to be team friendly.
But team friendly would be what I signed you for already.
Yes, would he do that again?
I don't believe that. Not
because he outplayed. To me, he outplayed that deal.
People gonna pay him on the open market. Somebody else got a young team that needs a veteran presence. Might even be a homegrown in Tennessee type where I will pay you X, Y, and Z.
Unless he wants to win. See that we in a different category now. We in a different spot now. We ain't been here in a while.
And so we get to get.
Hey man, you want to win?
All of those things. So the fact that both of those players still have a very strong likelihood to be in the plan eliminates me from questioning safety as a need right now because I have no type of qualms that they're going to be able to address that particular. Not even if you start to think about some other things where you got other defensive backs on your team that at this point in their careers could be considering a change if they want to re-sign C.J. Gardner-Johnson to being a strong safety type because their speed and everything and skill set is kind of convertible. You've seen a lot of DBs convert to safety later in their careers.
Can you trust? I think you can, but I guess one of the questions is, can you trust CJ GJ? I think you can. I think he showed that you can count on him.
DA and his opportunity. It's a chance to win again. He likes where he's at. and I think the coach gets the most out of you. Not to mention, if we
I
can
agree.
keep him, he went to Al Harris University.
Yeah. So, okay, so then looking at all of that, taking all that in consideration, then I would have to say we got an issue at linebacker.
Oh, I was going to say
because
that was my next one.
We got two of them that's hurt. We got two of them that's hurt, and we don't know when they're coming back. One broke a leg, the other one tore his Achilles.
Yep. And one.
What are we doing?
Realistically, be gone this year if he don't restructure.
TJ? Tremaine?
I see a lot of restructuring happening this offseason. You can save. I think they could save about $37 million with restructures.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
DJ, Montez, Cole. It's a few people they can do some restructuring with to get like $37 million back. I see heavy restructuring happening where they gonna sign the front signing bonuses and stuff like that. But
yeah, let me ask you this before we get up out of here.
Yep.
How much more do you think we can get out of Austin Booker? And I know he came into this season. He was a little injured. He was injured last year. He showed a lot of promise, but he played 10 games this year.
I think I'm trying to find. I think Austin will always be. I think he will be a high tier secondary player. Like I think he can always be a Pro Bowl level rotational player. I don't know that
situational.
I don't know his body type is set for him to be a every down type because he does have a motor, but he is a smallish type. So even though he's improved this year in run stopping, I think he played more snaps this year because of necessity as opposed to what they actually want. Because less plays for him, I think you can get more explosion out of him. And he a 5th round pick, so the cap in the game which they can cap him around is going to make sense for him to be. Like I said, some people would expect him to be a starter. He a 5th round pick, and maybe they saw a lot of potential in this 5th round pick for a particular niche. They didn't see starter every game. Like he may be your third
starter.
defensive end.
That's fair.
But he may give you 7-8 sacks out of Wiley Agulia or something like that. Like on the
is Tyreek?
Go ahead.
Is Tyreek still on the team?
That's tough.
Ooh, did you say Tommy Booker? Ooh.
That's Tommy Harris. I said Tommy. I was gonna say Israel Donizé types, all them types. On that line, Agulia was nice, but he's like the 8 sack type dude. Like you still knew his name. He was nice out there, but he wasn't finna crush you up. And I think that's more so. Austin will let you know his name on several plays, but he won't be a household name, if that makes sense. He's gonna be a Bears. He's gonna be like we talked about Derrick Rose. Everybody gonna know him in the division and so on because he's gonna get after you. But I really think that they're gonna draft another one that has to have a defined role. They got a lot of rotational types right now with the old Dangbos and Dexter.
They do. You're right.
You can play.
They got a lot of guys.
Yeah. You can't play neither.
Yeah, they got a lot of like little specialty guys, if you want to call them that. Situational.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
We pruning. I think that you get rid of
we need some. We need some full-time starters, man.
I think Dexter is gone because it's time to give him new money. Stevenson, I would like to say it would have been easier to do away with a Tariq, but given that Nashawn is what I think Nashawn is a 50-50 guy for the rest of his career. I agree.
I don't think either one of them cover well.
Okay, and see, I think
they recover. I think they recover well.
Okay.
I don't think that they cover well though.
And see, I think Tariq focus issues for me. I think you do cover well at times, and I think you have the aggression to be able to be a good cover corner. But I think sometimes you let your mind take you somewhere that's not professional. Case in point, last week, Bayard had to stop your ass from cheering with the crowd in the middle of a goddamn game. We trying to win, and you out there rah-rahing. And I know he likes to feed to the crowd. I know he want to get him, hyped up and everything. But when we talk about a quarterback having situational awareness, I don't think Tariq Stevenson has situational awareness, and that's dangerous when we playing the game we play. So I think that Zay Frazier, even though he didn't get to play this year, I think a Terrell Smith, I think those types make Tariq expendable. I think you may have pissed being off the same way DJ does, but I don't
Especially
think
once
you get the productivity that DJ has.
Yeah, I think after they looked at the tape, like Al couldn't.
You don't fool.
Yeah, he couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. You looked at the tape and you're like, "What is this guy doing?"
Potential don't mean nothing. You being a fool and you being a head case to yourself. And maybe like CJ said, getting cut and out and sitting on your couch for a few months by somebody may get your head where it needs to be because you have talent, but you got the old Hurricane discipline. And I need you not to be the you at Hallis Hall because right now we got a variety that's a strong suit for us. And then when it comes to, they're going to re-sign you. They don't give you new money to be a head case or be a part-time or not show up. He missed several games for coaches' decisions, if you ask me. Like, that don't bode well for me re-signing you, bro. It's just like
healthy scratch.
Thank you. So I don't think
healthy scratch? No, sir.
I'm
You're
giving you new money. Like, what's the new money I'm giving you?
Clean out your locker.
It was nice. Yeah. I appreciate you. I know you do have some good moments, but maybe for somebody else. Like, you're going to have to take the Chauncey route.
Yes, and this is why you play the games. This is why I'm not trying to duck anybody, especially in this year that we just had. Ain't no reason to duck nobody because we need to be sure about what we have and what we don't have.
Is you or is you ain't my baby. You tell me just like the cartoons say. And if you're not, stop singing at that window. You understand? But we can safely say that upon review for the year, on the whole, I'm going to give the season an A. And I know that's lofty considering we gave a game away at the end. I do believe that we outperformed many people's expectation. I wouldn't tell you internally that they even envisioned it the way it drew up for them, but the way in which the performance happened on the whole, I believe, was foundational in terms of the way in which Bear fans think. It's not so pessimistic to the point where every time we get we down, and in your 40-plus years, bro, how many times have you ever said to yourself, oh, we got it, win in the bag? And this year, I think knowing that if you have a deficit, knowing that if things are not looking so favorable, we have shown a resilience in this season that I've seen several winning teams not display that wore the same uniform. And I think that the coach kind of epitomizes exactly what his vision is. And I think that in itself is going to have us beyond an A for the forthcoming. For the future. I think that he got so very few things to work on as a coach himself, as far as the tweaks, that those minor tweaks make him go from good to great, take the team from better to best. And I think the next year we get to, barring health and a little bit of capology, the next level is known domination. And I say that only in the regular season, but we're going to have plenty of time to talk about specifics, draft classes, and everything else that is Bear related in terms of the staff that will be in the next month or so. The fallout from Ian Cunningham and whether or not he will leave. And if he does, will we get draft picks? It's a loophole in there.
No, they extended him.
Ian Cunningham?
They extended. Yeah, that came out yesterday. They extended him another year, so he's not going nowhere.
Okay, because they were telling us that with Atlanta, if he had took the job, we weren't getting draft picks.
Then we would get picks, yes. And they just was like, nah, we're good. Nah, we're good.
No, we wasn't getting picks for him if he went to Atlanta because he wasn't getting.
Well, they were going to try to.
He was going to sue. He was going to sue through the league to get compensation. It wasn't going to be arbitrarily done like it's supposed to be. A second and third in the upcoming 2 years because he wasn't getting a new level of power, meaning Matt Ryan is the decision maker. So even though he would be the GM, you ain't the last stop like Ryan Poles. So happy he stayed because you made.
Hold on, man. I wait a minute. I could be wrong. Hold on. Oh, I'm sorry. Update.
Don't make me nervous.
Update.
Don't make me nervous.
Update. Falcons announced Ian Cunningham news amid Bear speculation. Let's see. Announced they completed an interview with Ian Cunningham for the GM vacancy. that's the other thing too. So they're gonna try to get around it because Matt Ryan is their new president of football operations.
That's the loophole. That's their
And right.
Yeah,
That's their loophole.
For it. Don't want
Yes.
to go there.
So I'm sorry. He did not get extended. That was last year he got extended. Right now he's taking interviews. Sorry about that.
And I'm nervous as all to be damn. One, because I do believe that he is a great source of keeping Ryan from jumping out of his skis at times. I might be proven wrong, but we got plenty of things to discuss on the forefront. I appreciate everybody pulling up. G Honda, you included. Even Giraffe questions matter. Hey,
that's a great question.
I'm gonna give out the Giraffe Question of the Year award. UNT Miles is like neck and neck. No pun intended. To go ahead and win that award. I don't really know. I might have to give a co-award right there for the year. But nonetheless, it has been a good one, G. We got so much more to discuss for the off season, but we're gonna let some of it settle as the Patriots look like they're taking opportunity.
They might have it.
They might go ahead
10-7. Wow.
It's an ugly game out there. And right now it's 3rd and 6. This is critical right there as we go.
And this is Drake. This is the Drake made it. Everybody was saying, I ain't gonna get into it.
I'm poo-pooing. You supposed to be out here obliterating. You the darling MVP, and you out there playing like I thought you would against some level of defense. But hey, I mean, we only had 17 points last game, so maybe the snow is affecting you. How Stefanski get the job? Who knows? G Honda. I bet you took Stefanski over Mike McCarthy.
They ran the boot. I think that's your game. That's your game.
I'm very emotional about nothing that we speak about here. I don't know what you're speaking about.
I think that's your game.
But till next time, till next delivery, we'll get the coaching carousel together. We will do a review of Bear highlights for the year, G-Class. Maybe hopefully get some narration from this guy as he takes me through there with his postseason breakdowns. I've seen on classes reviews before, running back best runs of 2024s and all other types of things. So compilation is something I look to try to encapsulate for the Bears. I got a few things that we're putting into the vault. We're going to try to churn it out and see if we can sit back and remember the year that was before we move into playing armchair GM.
Yes.
Go to hell, Patriots.
Sounds good.
Until this time, next time, I'm mad right now, man. They going to the Super Bowl right now, just like, my coach. Similar situation. We're supposed to be doing some of the same things, but salute to the Patriots. Other than that, go Bears, no Steelers. Till next delivery, I'll catch you guys later on. Appreciate y'all.